kill and roll, 16 elimination plus the booyah, and they get a lot. It goes off for the pickup. Brian giving that distraction against T-Rex right now, but is this enough against the champions from the previous season?
Instant reaction with the time turner there, keeping Nexterra alive and well. Zeus versus T-Rex. Nexterra looking to rip this one away. Unfortunately, Nexterra is stuck between T-Rex and Zeus. Zeus has got the circle. Nexterra runs into T-Rex, shutting them down one after the other. But what a nade by Darius! The M79 coming in for the save. But T-Rex now just left with 2 players up against 3 on the side of Zeus. And David will show T-Rex that he can play those.
And we are left with 3.
I think Palmer misplayed the timing there. Went in for the rush before the rest of his team members were in position to back him up. He went down. Rest of the team went down. But is that going to be the same space here for Tamris? As Kappa goes flying on in alongside Nick Drytex with the flag, and what a setup! The distraction in Drytex cleaning up house. Can he go 3 for 3? Yes, he can! Drytex, M590 supremacy, 13 eliminations strong, and Tamris will secure this booyah at Solara.
The second booyah in Solara knockout stage for Tamris and Rosario Central. Blue already making their way. Duck, though, receiving a lot of damage, but Chicks would be taken down by Duck. 3-way battle on a sniper from that moment, from that angle. But here comes the rest of Team Blue. Now, seems like it is Blue who did pull off that lightning zone. M79 to finish him off. And Rosario Central, not a threat at all. And it seems like Team Blue will not be out that easily. And they will get this booyah in this game number 5.
Yeah, very impressive out of Blue again. As Zeus quickly repositions, I'm pretty sure the Boltmaker is going to make its appearance anytime now. As Zeus bumps into Red Dragons, Abichuela down on the ground. Mannequin turns things around, and Zeus holding their ground up here against the Red Eagle.
Yeah, Red Eagles right now, wings not yet clipped.
Oy.
And QK Lauver being taken down by N2 with AC-80. And the battle continues right now. Zeus Esports still managing to survive, but pickup can be done. Now, Zeus have 2 players, and they will be taken by the Blue. Same goes for Veneking and Ash X Beast.
But Veneking and Abichuela rushing in and stopping the dinosaurs from securing a booyah for themselves.
Now let's see now, Red Eagles right now on prime position. All they have to do is wait, pull Blue in. It's Red versus Blue once again. Are you going to take the red pill or the blue pill? There goes the Godnade, and it's Abichuela who goes down first. I think Blue is going to win this fight. It's only one opponent, and even the spams doesn't work that well with the quickness that we have from this guy. But with 3 men strong, Blue.
Face this alone. Keep my head up and breathing low. Put my heart with the ones that know, yeah. Cause I got the bass turned up loud, and the best that I know around. Fire that we can't live without, yeah. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my own mind needs you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the sign. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know, that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when we're catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame, and I feel this heat in the space. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the. My brothers do the right thing, tapping on the floor. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my own mind needs you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the signs. Seems like there's no more lonely. snow. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. When I'm catching on fire. Then I'm feeling the watch the clouds break apart. Are we going back to the start? Going back to the start, yeah. But I'm feeling the fire up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. But I'm feeling the fire up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. And I'm feeling the, that I'm feeling the, oh, no, no. Fire, babe. The fire, that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when I'm catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame. And I'm
Okay guys, we did it. Now it's time to break into the Telosium generator room.
Telosium, huh? The powerful and unstable energy we need.
I must say, seems like a trap.
Not just seems. Definitely is.
And we're going in like this?
Of course. We need energy.
And I'm not in the mood to recharge in an outlet.
Well done. Was easier than we thought.
Every time you open your mouth, something bad happens.
Ouch. That hurt. Remember, this mouth is ours. Do you know who the cowboy is?
Not a clue.
In any case, we agree that he deserves our best treatment, right?
My friend, we'll have to agree. You gave us the best gift of all!
Let me guess. Another night of bad dreams?
Worse. Bad memories.
Hey,
Steffi, my girl, what can I get you?
I'll have the same as he has. Are you alone?
Waiting for someone.
Never saw tech like this before. It must have been expensive.
Let's say I'm still paying for it.
My guys are here. Maybe you can tell me more about it later. You're...
Leave him. He isn't a Mamba anymore.
What are you looking at, you freak?
Chill out, Alvaro. We're not here for trouble.
You know what? I might want some trouble. Is that all? A bad penny always turns up. Shrouds have no pockets. Hi, Sonia.
Orion, you were supposed to go back. Leave this place right now.
Sorry for the mess. Keep the change.
Just refresh my mind. Why should I get in the middle of this mess?
You owe us a favor.
It seems more like a never-ending debt with the Mambas. By the way, you're looking terrible.
We're fine compared to the rest of the platoon. We need to know who this guy is.
All right, better get started.
always keep them on the prize. Cause when I take a look over my life, it always go left and never go right. You stole Lupe.
Lupe?
For you, stupid, it's Guadalupe. Lupe! What'd they do to you, girl? Shh. Huh?
Darn right. And a traitor doesn't deserve such a pretty face.
Whatever. Just shut it.
Why? You're not enjoying a little tete-a-tete?
Who's the pretty face now? Hey, you! You stole Guadalupe! Get a real girlfriend, dumbass! Not a real... screw you! I had to sprint all over town for my deliveries. I'm no thief. I just borrowed your ride for a job!
Steal this white whale van and I'll give you twice as much.
Why are you here? What do you ask? Sorry, miss. Someone just stole my Lupe and I had to sprint all over town.
Yeah. Noodles won't get you out of the city, you know. If you want real cash, work for me. I know a loser could use some help.
A loser? Come on, can't you stop wasting your life with these dirty jobs? When you stop acting like your crooked dad! He was your father too, Tatsuya. Oh, was he?
The Garcia brothers. What are you doing here, kiddos?
Well, my brother here was about... Shut up, man.
Shiro, Tatsuya, you don't have to take your father's path.
It's all here.
Okay, good job. Send it to HQ. You are at a crime scene, kiddos. I'm afraid I have to detain you.
No! It's my fault, Mr. Mark. My bike was stolen, so I...
Couldn't you just call us, Shiro? Be smarter than that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, we're good?
Good wouldn't begin to describe the electric atmosphere here for the prison tower grand opening. The building will finally open its doors to the lucky ones.
What? I was defending you. Great job, noodle guy. At least we're not involved in that gal's mess anymore. Explosives? Thanks, but no hey!
Where's my cargo?
Ooh, no fireworks for you. The warder's got it.
I came here through the evidence room. Nothing else than an ugly bike.
Hey! Lupe is not...
What are you saying?
If that Moby Dick truck is not here, it's been taken.
Moby Dick? Wait, you think that the whales...
Have a mole here? Yep.
That still doesn't tell us where...
The best catering companies are ready to serve delicious food for the most important...
Okay. My guys will take it from here. Stay away from that tower, losers. Mwah!
Losers. Guess what I'm thinking? Saving the day with your fave bro to clean the Garcia's name and... borrow a swank car from some drunk rich people and scram. Man, rich people can't hold their liquor. Yeesh.
Okay, let's beat it.
Beat it? With all these people in the building?
That is the idea. Yes.
Mr. Mark, sir, it's great you're here. He's the crook, stupid.
Crook? No. I'm a supplier. I bring chaos, and then I provide order. Full circle, see?
We won't let you do this!
Your father said the same.
Keep my friends close, but my enemies close.
Thought we were family, but now I see that I can't trust nobody in this world. And this name is nowhere. My life is set up, I gotta go get this money. You wanna go this high, but I never see you try. And I lost the peace, but now I'm back. You can tell the story. My heart is racing, it's like music.
here we are right at the top of the brand new Grizzly Tower. The view from that glass terrace. What?
I used a pocket knife just like this one on your Snoopy dad. Full circle indeed. Your whole family are bad apples after all. Huh?
Supplier! How'd you like them apples?
Friends close, but my enemies closer.
What was... Did you just drop our only evidence? You're welcome.
Full circle indeed. Full circle indeed.
You two suck at following orders, but I guess losers was a bit hard. Need a ride?
Thanks, miss, but I think my bro and I need to... Tatsuya? Tatsuya!
कौन है आगे पीछे हम तो हार से सीख के खेल में बन गए चीते आसमां में उड़ गए दुश्मन रह गए नीचे बुरे के साथ चले तो मिलते फिर बुरे नतीजे अरे गिर कर रहे सीज फायर मत्थे पे देंगे शॉट फायर कलेबर खाली दे एडमायर खाली पीली बैठे नहीं बनते ने लड़के होते इंस्पायर चक्कर डेट तेरा निकलेगा एक्सपायर चल कर गैंग रूल करे पूरा एम्पायर डेडिकेटेड रहा तभी लेविटेड इन दिस गेम बोना भी रहे हैं दिन गिन उत्तर से लेके पश्चिम पूर्व से स्क्वाड पहुंची है दक्षिण हर जगह मचेगा शोर हमसे भिड़ेगा बचेगा कौन जोन में खड़े अलोन गैंग मेरी बहुत हार्ड ना क्लोन यहाँ हम हुए पसीने में तरबतर एनिमीज जाने छुप गए किधर हार की वजह है इनका डर हम तो जीत के जाएंगे अपने घर ना करो चिंता रखो सबर छोड़ी ना हमने भी कोई कसर अपनी भी अलग ही वाइब है निकला सफर में सबका है गोल खुशी हम बांटे सोल टू सोल रुक भी नहीं सकते ये लंबी दौड़ मेरे लोग साथ मेरे मुश्किल मोड़ कहते हैं ओजी इन दिस गेम विक्ट्री के साथ सारे करे सेलिब्रेट चले तो मिलते फिर पूरे नतीजे निकला सफर में सबका है गोल खुशी हम बांटे सोल टू सोल रुक भी नहीं सकते ये लंबी दौड़ मेरे लोग साथ मेरे मुश्किल मोड़ कहते हैं ओजी इन दिस गेम विक्ट्री के साथ सारे करे सेलिब्रेट
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is the Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter Edition, the final day of knockout stage, and this is where the teams need to double down on the hustle. By the end of the day, we're going to find out who's going into the grand finals. On the desk, I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia, joined by my brother, the Mustachio AJ.
I am excited as always, Neptune. It's the final day, the final opportunity. 4 more games. We've got a little bit of a sad update for some of you guys who might just be a fan of PvP. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But as for the rest of them who are at the top of the leaderboard right now, it's not really going to be a troublesome day, right? But for some of the teams who are close to that 12th spot, we're talking about teams, well, specifically E7 Empire. Shinigami's 5-star Red Eagle is kind of all right in the competition. They're quite a distance away from E7 Empire, but there's no saying that they have got a guaranteed spot, right? Because even if today, teams like Red Eagle, 5-star Shinigamis, if they drop the ball big time, Neptune, and maybe a team like 787 all of a sudden, or Cold Esports wakes up in the competition, we could just see the top 12 get shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, upset is bound to happen if they drop the ball. And it's really difficult to say on how they're going to perform right now. Because the last day, most of the time, that's where teams are brought out from the shadows. Teams who are hiding out, I don't know, hiding the strats or whatever. I'm still talking to SNPT about that. For those who are in a risk, that's where they double down on all the effort that they are bringing into this battle, into knockout stage, because they have 4 chances to do so.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're looking at SNPT being 25 points behind the team that's currently in the 12th spot. The team in the 12th spot who's most potentially going to lose their position in the top 12 if they don't hustle today is E7 Empire, right? And SNPT has shown us some games where they look super sus, bro. All right, they can shoot, they can play, they can sure as hell find those coins and revive. But for some reason, they're just not playing just yet, right? So this could either be we are totally wrong and they suck, okay? Or they're so good that they have not even started trying in the competition just yet. This can go very, very good or very, very bad. SNPT, today's a day I will not be taking my eyes off of them. I do want to see them in the next stage, though. Speaking of the next day, there's only one more day of play left in the competition once we complete today. Today's the last day of the knockout stage. Today is the day where we skim the teams down from 18 to the top 12 as we push them into the grand finals on the 4th of January, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, last day of the 5th week, and that's 5 weeks where the teams has been struggling and hustling to get all those points. First was group stage, knockout stage, now knockout stage, grand finals, and what are they aiming for? The prize pool, because the champions will be taking home $10,000. I have to put that emphasis on there.
$10,000 is a really, really good amount to take home. But of course, if you make it into the grand finals, everybody in the grand finals walks away with something, right? Even the consolation prize down at the bottom from the 10th to 12th spot still walks away with $1,000. A lot of money for some of these kids who are just growing in the world of Free Fire esports. Point system, the cardinal rules of Free Fire esports continues as always. You hit the booyah, you walk away with 12 points, 9 points for that second spot. You minus off 1 point for each consecutive position you take on the overall leaderboard, except for 11th and 12th, which gets you no placement points at all. But every single elimination gets you that 1 point. And you can ask Zeus Esports a little bit about that.
I mean, Zeus Esports has brought in a lot of elimination, but I think currently the team who is getting that much is not Zeus Esports anymore. It is T-Rex. They are here to show their dominance, to show that they are deserving of being crowned defending champions, being the defending champions and being the champions once again if they continue this role. But let's shift our focus on the last column from 13 to 18. These are teams that need to hustle, and they are part of different groups, I would say. So let's see on how are they going to work it out. From yesterday, a lot of struggle has happened, especially for those in the 17-18 Galaxy Gaming as well as Los Cubanos, where they could have made so much to be able to get away from that bottom 2, but unfortunately didn't happen.
Yeah, and the sad news that we wanted to share with you guys was that there is a possibility that PvP might not be playing today. So 89 points, so close to the top 12. I think it's a big waste if they don't show up. Let's see if or not some miracle will still await us before we get into the brand new year of 2026. I want to see PvP there in the grand finals. Will they give us something like that? We'll have to wait and see. But again, E7 Empire not in a safe spot at all. 5 stars, Shinigami's Red Eagle ACD. Also pretty much in the yellow zone. I do not expect Tampres and Rosario Central to be in any danger whatsoever. I think they've showed us yesterday already exactly what they're capable of. I see no reason why they would slack off today, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also putting my eye on Red Eagle because as part of the team of the top 12, other than E7 Empires on the 12th spot, they're the only ones who hasn't had the Booyah, but they made it work. They made it work to get away from that 12th spot. They moved to the 9th spot, and let's see if they'll be able to perform that well, especially in the map schedule that we have. Bermuda, Nexterra, Alpine, Purgatory, Solara, and Kalahari. And the shift of those groupings that we have. And I guess we're going to follow the same groupings that we have from yesterday. We're going to start off with A and B, then A and C, and then B and C. I might be wrong. It might change. So hopefully those are things that they can consider for teams to find out who will they be targeting. Would they be targeting the ones in the bottom, especially Galaxy Gaming and Los Cubanos? Because it seems like those who are doing it so are getting some free points.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right. And 787 Esport is the one that's closest to the 12th spot, but not in the top 12 just yet. They're 15 points behind E7 Empire. They should try to hustle very early on in the day instead of waiting for their final opportunity, right? Not everybody can pull a Red Eagle on the competition. Some of them definitely will have a tough time executing such a phenomenal play on the final day or the final opportunity to play the qualifier. But of course, this is the these are the teams for Group B. We've got T-Rex, Novatos, 5 stars in there, 3 teams, big teams. Problem is, I haven't really seen 5 stars with their 5-star gameplay just yet. They're just hanging on. And I don't know. I think they have got a little bit more to offer the competition that they just haven't shown us yet.
Yeah, I mean, the returnees from previous season, but this is a different set of roster. So I know that there's a slight difference in terms of performance compared to what we've seen in the summer. But we've seen in the group stages how they are going. They can bring the numbers. But right now, 5-star, I don't know, probably there's a time for them to hide some strats because the grand finals is getting close. And as long as they keep themselves afloat, especially with who can they gun against to get a 1 spot above, that will be Red Eagle. So if Red Eagle will be losing some of those fights against 5-star, then 5-star definitely will move up in a safer spot of not risking their spot for the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm a little concerned with the fact that 5 stars definitely struggles when it comes to the placement points, but where they do not struggle, where they truly shine, as a matter of fact, is when it comes to those engagements, right? They have been able to keep up. In fact, Team Blue, who's sitting down in the 5th spot, Neptune, has got less eliminations than 5 stars, who's in the 10th spot, right? That's exactly how capable 5-star is in these games, but one thing, like I said, once again, I've been very curious about is the fact that they don't really get very far in these matches. It seems like they're not motivated to get deep into the circle, score a couple of booyahs for themselves. I know it's a new roster, but I think, once again, they are keeping something big away from all of us. Maybe they just don't want a big target on their backs, just like how Zeus Esports have taken their foot off the gas pedal, right? Because they realized at the group stage, like, oh, wait a minute. we are getting a little bit too much attention here. Maybe we need to ease off. And they haven't really been a huge threat in the knockout stage, which I think is a blessing for the rest of the teams out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's giving them an opportunity to survive even longer. Even Zeus Esports are losing a gunfight for those at the bottom half of our leaderboard. So there's something that they can look forward to, at least for the moment. Because the grand finals happens, there's no holding back. That's the potential of 8 games that we're going to see. And if you have an opportunity to take the number 1 spot, Zeus Esports will not be giving that up. Even if T-Rex Esports is part of that mix, And definitely, they will be, because
Yeah,
200
man.
double century mark already hit by TRX Esports, and we're not done with knockout stages yet.
Nah, we are definitely not done. We've got 4 more games, and it is going to be brutal if the big boys decide to play big time this time around, right? Because, I mean, last few opportunities, you need the bottom feeders, you need the teams who are struggling to get into the top 12 or maintain their top 12 spots to find these big points. And we've seen in these lobbies, when the big boys play, when T-Rex, Zeus Esports really start picking up on some of these, major eliminations like Novatos and all, the teams down in the bottom, they barely are able to scratch anything away in terms of elimination points, right? So this is going to become a big challenge. It's a day where we kick things off on Bermuda, and I really hope the big teams are going to be sleeping on us today. I would like to see them wake up in the grand finals. Just not right here, not right now, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, still looking forward to how they are going to play in grand finals. But right now, focus would be those who are aiming for the top 12. And here we go, a flight coming from the north to the south. And hopefully Bermuda will bring us the same action that we've seen from yesterday. Because most of the time, Bermuda is a little bit slow because of the over-familiarity of the teams. But we've seen the other games wherein they are rocking it quite quick, hot drops happening, and this is where they start getting the points. So for those who need it, they will be targeting some of the teams right here.
Yeah, Anexados is just playing dirty again. Anexados does not need the points, but they just want to pummel down Los Cubanos, who have not been catching a break at all. Chino King, Pinalto, this 1v1 might just turn into a 2v1, but Cubanito reaching just in time.
What?
The Flame Mirage will protect them for a little bit, giving them a little bit of information play, but it still turns around into a 2v1 as the players on the side of Anexados, they're first, they've got the guns, and they're just shutting down player after player from Los Cubanos.
Was it Chino King who drove that tuk-tuk in there? Seems like an action movie. He drifted as we go in for the pickup for some players and eliminate the players, the knockdown players of those from Los Cubanos. But here comes trouble, because it's not just Los Cubanos that they need to work with. It is Fox Gaming who might be gunning them. So it's a good thing that they managed to pull away just in time. It's only 3 players, so they do have a little bit of insurance for themselves, and they're just leaving Fox Gaming behind. On the other side, we are seeing putting some pressure in some of the teams. And SNPT once again already down as early as before the 2nd minute mark.
And this is a big fight as well. T-Rex on the approach. Novatos, can you get away? Leading the charge. The rest of the members on the side of T-Rex gonna allow this to be a 2v2 for the time being. The Kenta popped already. Extra layer of defense. Has got the opportunity to get aggressive. BSK in the hands of Hugo Food. The first shot hits the connection, and has to drop back for a little bit of a top-up on his life. That gives Wedge X a opportunity to step up for the defense here as well. Bolacan now split off into a 1v1. Has to be careful. Bolacan on the reposition. Backstab! And Bolacan gets the hit onto Wedge X. Hugo hops on in, but it's a little bit too late here. They had a perfect 2v2 opportunity that they just allowed to become a disadvantage. And Novatos will lose 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, let's see on how well they can bring them back. But unfortunately, Folio will be knocked down as well. Only 1 remains for Novatos. And, well, Anexados will have to go for a revive. I'm waiting for Novatos to go for that revive as well. I guess Benchex has been brought back. Now, onto the other side, we have 5-star Yael putting pressure on players of 787, and they don't need it right here.
What a beautiful play that was. DR, MP5. Camel gets stacked up on low. Domi out of nowhere comes flying in with the Trogon. But of course, it's a little bit of a problem here because the attack on that upper floor and 787 losing multiple players in this bout up against 5-stars, Neptune.
Let's see. I mean, who's going to win that battle of Novatos is not yet over because they are losing not only to T-Rex but also against Zeus. Now, as we continue round number 2, or a round that didn't happen between Anexados and Fox Gaming, we have another team who's gunning against them, which is Shinigami's for elimination already, and Palmer might be going down. Managed to leap away, but he has been taken out by Fox Gaming from the other side. So they know, Shinigamis know that there's another team that might confront them, especially on this high ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Anexados knows what it tastes like when you go in there for the absolute ambush. Fox Gaming got a drop on them. But thankfully, Anexados has managed to play Mill to perfection here. Backing away. And it looks like Garena managed to catch Doris. Instant pickup coming on through at Fox Gaming, changing their crosshairs. The target now is Shinigamis, and they want to cut the distance between them. Look at those glue walls. Glue wall melter protection from the side of Shinigamis, forcing Fox Gaming back, and Poco catches Garena with the M590. They can't go in for the save just yet, and Yarowa has to let him go. Doris traded. Garena gets the shot from afar. Swag with a big mistake, but still gets the 1v1. Yarowa for the trade. And the pickup is solid here on the side of Fox. Shinigamis needs to back away.
Love the timing that Yarowa was playing in there. The moment that he gets that knock, he backs away and turns his head to the other player. No regards for HP at that point, but let's see if they'll be able to bring Garena back and at least prepare, because we've seen them go against not only Shinigamis but also Anexados. But later on, if they can find out a rotation, or those teams can find out a rotation of Fox Gaming, they might be the ones in trouble. But the one in trouble right now is the final player of Shinigamis, Eliezer, who might not be able to breathe because a two-man split from Fox Gaming is putting pressure on him.
How are they going to get away from this situation? Fox Gaming with the pressure. 10 teams left now, Neptune. As we hit the close enough to the 6-minute mark. 787. Hunted down by Anexados as well. What a trade. Simultaneously knocking each other down, these two in the 1v1. You gotta love it, Nep.
Yeah, definitely. And at that point, there's no waiting. There's no waiting for backup. You just hit that give up button and let your teammates revive you. Now, Megamente almost taken down. A sliver of health, but Wasson is already going for the push, the flank. And let's see if he'll be able to make it in time before they recover. But it's not only that. We have Cold as well into battlefield. It's a three-way battle, and Novatos is somewhat in the losing end. Only one man surviving.
Brilliant binoculars used by Zeus Esports, spotting out the players on the side of Cold. But Novatos in the area as well. This could just be that distraction for either one of these squads to back away from this battle. Zeus finding an opportunity. Hugo Food on that double revival so that one survivor from the side of Novatos can take a little bit of a risk. As Zeus now circles around, John B, M82B, spotted out! Timing is just off there. And John B doesn't get the shot in just yet, but on that recovery, perfect connection, Riptide rhythm, Cole Brown needs to catch a break here. What a play by John B. On the hop on out. Spots one, takes the shot, gets the drop. One out in the open. John B again. 2 for 2 for John B. And Zeus Esports is unstoppable.
John B for 3, and he's doing it with that M82B. I know it rhymes, and I'm no rapper, but it seems like they're going to wrap it up because Novatos will be joining the party, but no! Megamente with a Mega Mind in the play, but he has been taken down. You go for right now. FFUSC can bring David down if they can make it in time, and there you have it. You go Food for a knockdown. One more remains, and Zeus might be meeting their end.
Oh yeah, absolutely well played here by Novatos. But look at what's on. Hugo Food does drop him on the ground. Zeus still alive and kicking in the game here. John B on that revival. And Novatos almost met their end, and Lightning Zone called out as well. Most probably by the Novatos squad here because nobody else is getting damaged. Polo out. Okay. Nope. This is that final player from the side of Zeus. This is big brain play from that final survivor on the side of Zeus Esports, looking to confirm some of those knocks into elimination points, and that was just brilliant, Nep.
Oh, definitely. I mean, either way, whether it's Novatos or Zeus Esports who triggered that bolt maker, That was good plan because if it's one Novatos, they have a free pass to go for the pickup. It's just unfortunate that that final player was close enough to go for a knockdown after the pickup has been done and to confirm those elimination. But speaking of elimination, that's 6 elimination already for Novatos. But who's coming in on knocking to their door? It is SNPT as well as Los Cabanas on the other side. So it will be trouble now for Novatos if they don't make this revive. And there you have it, Vegex, and another will be back for man. Back into battlefield, but Los Cubanos being targeted. Megamente switch over, and it's 2-team that SNPT can take advantage in this fight.
Yeah, SNPT. They just could not focus their shots onto one player. Megamente gets away with his life. Although 2 players from the side of SNPT did manage to make those connections. But those bullets will mean absolutely nothing as Novatos backs away to play recovery. SNPT, on the other hand, still waiting for Supreme to catch up. And look at this, man. 4,700 coins in his pocket.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I think I saw Supreme 2 with about 2,700 coins in his pocket. This guy has got like 4,000 plus. They are on a roll. And I really like this strategy out of SNPT, just sending one guy to pick up coins off of all the coin machines in the game, and then the rest of the squad playing for elimination points. Seems like a big brain play, but is SNPT going to be able to survive with just this, Nep?
Yeah, let's see though. Let's see, because so far with that Suzy on Supreme, they're getting the money mark, so definitely saving on those coins. And then the reason why he's always driving is because he does have that Misha. So an afterburner brings a little bit of speed, and then we also saw Notora, so a little bit of HP as well as he drives away. In and out of the blue, it doesn't matter. But for 787 now, they would need to bring Anexados down to bring more points to their side, and 6 already has been taken, and no one is lost for the team.
787 cannot lose this fight. The problem is Anexados has proven time and time again that they are the better squad when it comes to these engagements. Smart Riptide Rhythm to break down the glue wall so that they can get into the next zone quickly enough. 787 breaking away from the engagement up against Anexados, but this does not mean that battle will not continue momentarily. Zeus Esports, on the other hand, spotting on 5 stars. Open ground battle. Cold on the way in as well. That is rematch time for Cold. If they can find somehow a position to backstab Zeus and distract them as they engage with 5 stars, and a beautiful shot from Dragon from afar. Zeus picked up instantaneously, and the rest of the squad just shrugging off that damage, inching closer and closer to 5 stars.
Dragon, Yael already in the ground. Dior trying to fly away, and distraction of those already knocked down is saving them. Bruce, though, almost out. Anexados targeted out of nowhere. They are on the right-hand side, but slowly and surely, they are the ones being gunned down like ducks in the air. And let's see if Zeus Esports will be able to finish off 5-star, because 787 will be in there as well. Anexados out in this play. We are left with 9 teams.
Anexados USA so high up the leaderboard. It's no sweat if they get eliminated early. There's no way they lose their spot in the top 12. But of course, this opens up the final phase of the game. Problem is, the Giants are still left alive in here. You've still got T-Rex, you still have got Zeus, Fox Gaming, who can rip away a decent Booyah Fox. Speaking of them, going up against Los Cubanos, who don't have enough firepower to stop these boys. But Otaku, a little bit of a confusion out there. And Megamente takes advantage with that high ground, gets the knock, but Choco in for the save. And it looks like Fox gets to play a little bit longer.
Yeah, 2 players remaining. They do have a vending machine to work with, but they will need to go in a tug of war against SNPT. A full squad after Supreme drove in.
Nicely
and has
done.
been gunned down, but no one was guarding it. There goes Choco, bringing Garina and Yaro back. More chance for them to win this fight, but they need to be quick and looting up.
Beautiful glue wall played by Choco here. Has the M79 as well. Do you dare take a step forward, SNPT, Choco says. You have to wait and see if that battle does break down between them. Zeus up against the final player on the side of Cold, as 5 stars gets eliminated in 8th place as well. Cold about to follow suit. eliminated in 7th. It's not going to be the title we give them because it looks like there are more survivors out there on the side of Cold. They just split up. Beautiful play on the cryo mine, stopping all of those glue walls. T-Rex now going in for the attack.
The attack is now down, and 787 is losing their players. Only one remain, and that is Chrono. And T-Rex Esports will be heading straight to him as they go in for the flank. 17 remaining, about to be 6 in a bit. SNPT losing their battle against Novatos, and even T-Rex is putting those bullets in, and SNPT will be out on 7.
The survival gameplay doesn't go far this time around. Just caught out a little bit too early by a lethal squad. Fox Gaming taking position right behind Zeus. Zeus distracted by Novatos. But a good thing is T-Rex right behind Novatos is going to be pulling in the distraction as well. So Fox has got a open battle up against Zeus. Not having to worry about those distractions just yet. Choco. Beautiful play, no time turner on his side, and T-Rex gets involved in that battle. This circle's too tiny. There's just no one team picking on another. Everybody shooting at each other here, Neptune.
A deadly spot for T-Rex to be in, especially with snipers that they have in the battle. Everywhere they turn, they will be able to get a knock as well as an elimination. But here comes Fox Gaming, getting a little bit close, making sure that they will not be spotted by T-Rex. The only question is, they will need, or will they be able to deal with Novatos? Garena would be knocked down outside the blue. No chance of getting in.
No chance at all, Yarowa. Fox Gaming played a beautiful game. 14 elimination strong. But Yarowa, beautiful play on the rotation. Backs away. Now up against the whole squad of Novatos, and he's keeping them at the very edge. Goes in for the tag as well. M590. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Beautiful knock on the very edge of the zone. Yarowa still a monster.
He does have a grenade, but wasn't able to pull it up in time. The shift would be favoring no one at this point because it will be out in the open. Yarowa just playing it with that dashes. Now here comes the jump of T-Rex. This might save Yarowa for a higher placement. And let's see if Cold can be taken down. There goes one of the players of T-Rex on the ground, out for the count, but Cold will be out in 5th as well. We are left with 4 teams remaining in this fight.
Oh, Nate, what a play! And Bolakan with the M590 falling in like the angel of death from up top, getting the shot on the way down. Bolakan with the damage, and now Novatos obviously has got a very slim chance of running away with the booyah here. Unless they play their timing perfectly, they need to wait for 787 to play some sort of a distraction before they attack, and that's the perfect one. Chrono knocks down Polo. Novatos losing a player at the very same time that T-Rex gets one player dropped on the ground. Bolakan, Hugo Food on the double. Novatos, can they do it? Yes, they can! Hugo Food single-handedly sorts out the dinosaurs!
And not only that, Chrono managed to survive, even beat the other team in getting in onto the shift of the circle. Now it's a 1v1 standoff right now. This is AC80 onto Hugo Food, and definitely a Mexican standoff once that the blue closes in. Riptide Rhythm! But almost taking Hugo Food down as he inched closer. He might be able to get it with an F79, but still managed to survive.
Sniper versus sniper here in the final battle of Bermuda. And the sniper cheated. He used a grenade launcher, all right? But then again, we've been seeing this all throughout the competition. FFUSC just full of flex players. Yes, Hugo Food is a sniper, but he is not afraid to use those lethals, man. Beautiful play in that final circle, playing it to his advantage, making sure he has got those glue walls to protect himself, getting in closer and closer, inching forward until that M79's range could not be denied anymore. And he played it very safely as well. He assumed that the opponent might have a few grenades to toss at him. So very smart play from Hugo Food at the very end of the day. And what a brilliant victory here by Novatos, who were challenged so many times in this game. And they pick up their second booyah of the knockout stage.
Oh, Hugo Food, Hugo eat those opponents because he did get 10 elimination from this fight, 4,656 in the damage, and I would say a normal sniper build if we're talking about Clash Squad. But Iris does work from that moment, and it seems like they will have to get a more in this fight to to make sure that 787 will not make it onto grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was that brilliant play from Hugo Food, the battle of the snipers. Chrono, I mean, if he had the M79, he wouldn't have thought twice, right? He would have just whipped it out, used it. But Hugo Food, just the smarter one in that situation, and also the luckier one who got his hands on the grenade launcher. VSK did not need to be pulled out at all.
Bro, that glue wall. I was waiting for that replay. That glue wall was pulled off by Hugo Food. Just make sure that the final player is stuck in that corner. And he can lob that M79
dirty
with no chance to run away. Dirty play.
dirty play by Hugo Food. And you are right, man. That final, the final glue wall was just absolutely nasty. There's just no way in hell he runs away unless he is an Oscar user at that moment in space, but it wasn't the case. Novatos 31 points in total, 19 eliminations plus the booyah. What a great round. Well earned game, and this is the kind of play you need out of Novatos in order to dethrone T-Rex. Hugo Food single-handedly Neptune 3 players. Of course, granted, Chrono was putting in the damage from the opposite side as well, but T-Rex technically had the numbers to overwhelm both 787 as well as Novatos. You gotta love this. And 787, we were highlighting how they were in the 12th spot, and if they don't hustle, they're gonna get overtaken. And they're like, nope, not happening, not today, not now, for sure.
Chrono definitely turned a time against T-Rex at that point. He was waiting, getting pushing away Novatos from one corner, surviving, getting the high ground, and that's where he went in, eliminating some of the threats on his way. But let's see if that can happen. A lot of compound play can be done by 787 once again in Nexterra, but that would mean that they need to survive to the final circle, and not a lot of teams are doing so.
You can say that again, man. Nexterra, a fun place to see. If or not, you've got what it takes. Zeus holds on to 3 booyahs here so far, if you count both the group stage as well as the knockout stage. And there is a high potential they run away with this. But it's also a map where Nova does really, really well. They've got 2 booyahs in the competition so far on Nexterra. Would love to see these two go head-to-head down at the very end. But of course, as you look at the situation of things, Zeus Esports is really not motivated to go all out anymore. I think they're keeping it all for the grand finals, and I'm not going to complain. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, chilling like a villain at this point, and then later on in grand finals, that's where they are going to wreak havoc. Let's see, though. I mean, that might change. They might want a little bit more fun and do it right here. But as you can see, seems like there's only a few hot drops that might be happening. Novatos against Shinigamis, and nowhere else. SNPT would be splitting up similarly from what we've seen every time. T-Rex against Anexados. Not quite sure if this is a smart move from them, especially how well T-Rex has played at previous map.
T-Rex up against Anexados. Will Anexados get a taste of their own medicine when you get hot dropped? Gino King Brian saying, no, Mustachio, we will not. We will whoop. And they are whooping. As Faker finds Polakan as well. Player JK, the sniper of the squad. Smart enough to drop far, far away. Or was that the jump pad play? I don't know. I got distracted. But either way, T-Rex will not play.
Imagine a fox biting on a T-Rex, and that is what happened. Player JK did manage to use a launch pad, but now Anexados is trying to follow suit, unaware that they're already out and they might be meeting a different team. But speaking of different team, 5-star right now putting so much pressure not only on Shinigamis but also Novatos, and 5-star would want to get those points to keep themselves safe for the grand finals.
5 stars up against Shinigamis, up against Novatos. This 3-way battle not looking good for Shinigamis. Novatos, on the other hand, going to be able to back away from this engagement. Players setting up a three-way push. Dior, Max 7, what a time turner, saving him. And Wills will take that opportunity with the Bison, dropping Dior. Brew down on the ground as well. Dragon with the wrong timing. And Yale is out of there. He does not wait for an invitation to exit. Into Decker Square he goes. Always shooting that vending machine, but a revival obviously on the plate for the squad. As Shinigamis now shift their attention over to SNPT, and Polos takes advantage. My goodness me, what an interaction between these squads.
Oh, definitely. I'm getting excited, especially the last day of knockout stage, just like this. For all the tournaments, this is where teams has been putting their all in all those engagement. And we were expecting a slowdown because they want to be safe. They want to survive even longer, but not this time. Not today. SNPT now going for survival. Now, not so much of coins though. Not so much of opportunity to run away with a vehicle, but on them would be Zeus Esports Supreme. Once again, 3K on the coins, making sure that the rest or the full squad can be picked up if in case they fall.
See if Zeus will be able to get the tap onto SNPT. Answers no. SNPT one taps him instead. Looking for yet another. Wason, M590. Beautiful connection on the first shot. And the second, my goodness me. You can't outplay mechanical skills like that. Wason once again in another 1v1. Breaks through the defenses. Had the Valiant dash. But Supremo 2 outdoes him with the Bison. Supremo with the pickup, and David now hopping on in. Do they not give them a chance to breathe at all? And Supreme 2 this time has to step up, picking up Supremo 2. Back and forth we go. And SNPT, it ain't over just yet. Here comes Fox Gaming now.
Bro, imagine that happening in the ring itself. Seems like wrestling. Tag, you're it, and you go for those hits. Now, Fox Gaming will be running, putting so much of lobbing those grenades against SNPT. No revive needs to be done. Glue wall timing, unfortunately, Garena is already outside. M24 not even getting that far to make those hits, and Fox Gaming already had 3. But they're still safer aside of SNPT named Supreme, who might be able to revive the full squad.
And Zeus just hit that triple revival as well, so it looks like Zeus still gonna make a play for the Booyah in this game. As SNPT backs away, Cubanito on the other hand, Los Cubanos in a heated battle once again. The team that's currently dead last. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of Los Cubanos. Actually hope to see them in the grand finals. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to get that, but maybe one last dance here today. Maybe they can prove exactly what they're made of before the exit 787. It's because it's not really about whether or not they make it to the grand finals. How do they take the final day even when they know there's no chance of making it? It looks like there's still fire in the squad, and Ray's so unfortunate with that flank.
Yeah, I mean, for Los Cubanos, it's not what they do, it's not how they do it, it's how they make us feel, especially in the last day of the knockout stage. If they can feel, even the survivors out there is watching, they can make them feel that they have a chance to get in tournaments just like this. Los Cubanos would be, I don't know, motivating a lot of teams to be part of the next season of FFUSC. But Anexados right now dealing with Novados. That is a team that you want to deal, especially in this level or this time of the competition. But Brian made a good turn, a good decision to pull away from that engagement and head to the vending machine.
Novados, 7 eliminations already, eyeing for 5 stars this time round. Yale tagged up by Polos. Winchester, level 2. A little bit irritating to deal with, but it looks like Novatos do not want this fight just yet. Focusing on the circle. Smart play with the rotation. Just has to be careful, though, because Novatos will have a great line of sight. And Anexados makes that exit early.
Yeah, unfortunately, the final player has been taken down. But the battle is not yet over. Gatekeep can be done by Novados, but they are missing one. So they need to even field against 5 stars right now. Dragon would be one great contender to be taken out. Novados, though, they still lost one player despite going for revive. But Zeus Esports to elimination, guess the story is true. They are not putting that much effort in getting so much points and just pressuring a lot of teams not to make it to the final circle.
Zeus has got a great vantage point here up against 5 stars, who are leading the lobby with the most number of eliminations. 787 up against Novatos. On the other hand, we'll see Chrono find that shot. Cryo Mine tossed on out. One player tagged up, and what a shot from David. Brew down on the ground. Yale found by Zeus as well, and it looks like Zeus is going in here for the shutdown. Dior on the pickup, but he will be too late. Wason's already halfway running towards them. 5 stars. They've got a big fight coming right at them right now.
One nade can end it for 5 star, or at least a couple of their players. There you go, FGL action, damaging them a little bit. But let's see if they'll be able to survive. Dragon a little bit too close. Valiant dash up close and personal. Even the Cassie connection doesn't save them. And Wasan is definitely on in this fight as they put 5 stars down. Now, one player managed to pull away from that engagement, but on the other side, it's 787 Minor making major damage against the team.
I mean, 787 hustling just like Red Eagles did on the last day of play for the group stage, because this is just a different squad altogether. Finally, they want to play. Finally, they're showing us the aggression, and 787 seems to be bagging decent numbers out there. Previous matchup, not too bad. This time, 11 eliminations. The previous game almost walked away with the booyah. But of course, got clapped in the most unfortunate of ways by Hugo Food. Trapped by a glue wall. Annihilated by a grenade. I think 787 wants a little bit of revenge there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they will be finding the team later on. But how can they do so? Because it's so unfortunate what's happening to Novatos at this point, because they're losing a lot of players. Medjecks right now! Great push, great rush with a max 7, and they can survive. Now, I thought there's only 2 players here, so a revive has been done, and there's potential that Novatos might be able to get it once again. Survivability is at its best, especially with Hugo Food in the mix, and a lot of elimination already, even on the 10, not even on the 10-minute mark, and there's still a lot of targets they can play with.
This is Los Cubanos and maybe one of their final few chances to shine in a battle. Oh, Valiant Dash breaking down the defenses, and they don't stand a chance up against 5 stars. Assassin notices that instantaneously, and he says, hasta la vista, we are out of here. Pinalto's like, come on, bro, step on it. Wasan tagged up. Hugo Food, VSK, looking to punish Zeus this time round. And it looks like he'll have to wait for that.
Yeah, I mean, top up. But here comes Polo going for the rush. Wazon might be hit, but does have M590, so Wazon would be an evil field. Plus Hugo Food from behind with VSK. Zeus Esports eliminated, and Novatos still in a roll with their 10th elimination.
I mean, Novatos being Novatos. This is a great game as usual. Obviously, Novatos is now in position to overtake Zeus Esports, but Polo's like, wait a minute, bro, you just gonna leave me like that? All right, man. Here go Food. It's like, I'll pick you up, brother. Let's go. Novatos just clowning around out there, looking for the booyah as 5 stars seek a way to pick up Dior, but it looks like they're not gonna be able to get to him in time.
I mean, a little no chance because of Fox Gaming holding this compound. And we do have one player from Fox Gaming, which is Otaku, who is making a roam, making sure that they have a next compound to work with on the next shift of the circle. But looking at the minimap right now, seems like there's not so much, so they will need to at least dwindle the numbers of their opponents from where they stand.
5 eliminations strong for Fox Gaming, but now things get a little dicey here. Have to pick Garena right back up. No sweat for Fox Gaming. There's a lot of windows to protect. And they need to barricade those windows with those glue walls instantaneously just to block out some information so that they can just focus all of their firepower down one way. We'll catch up with them in a little bit. SNPT on that revival once again. Question is, how many eliminations can they get in this game? Will we finally see SNPT rage? Because they're not too far away from the top 12 once again, Neptune. But with 787 on such good performance, the question is a huge one. Can SNPT overwhelm 787, maybe even outdo them later?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 2 matches, and they're going to sit it out if you follow the similar schedule that we have yesterday. So there's little to no opportunity for them to catch up so much of those points unless they start right here. But the good story on for SNPT is later on, they know exactly how much point they will need, because once they're back, that would be the last 2 games. So let's see if they will be playing it. That's smart. But Supreme, I know the blue hurts right now, but he's still outside of the zone, and he's still roaming. I don't know what the plan is, but I guess he has enough coins already to keep the team afloat.
Los Cubanos just zipping on in there. Fox Gaming, on the other hand, looking for a big fight. And they will find it as Los Cubanos drives on in, thinking they can walk away with a couple of elimination points, but instead they get flattened by Fox.
Unfortunately, Fox Gaming seems like when together, they are that strong. And even the other teams like Zeus Esports, T-Rex can challenge them. Now, let's see, SNPE, Supremo, sitting duck in the roof would be the target by 787. There you have it. Minor takes him down. Even Supreme would be the next target. And SNPT, believe that they are out.
That's unfortunate. They just got ganked upon. Everybody out there on the battlefield looked up and they were like, hey, SNPT, hello. Took them right out. Oh, Chrono. Beautiful position, AWM. Players moving around. Chrono finds the first one. Hugo Food down. And that's the best player to take out of the equation here on the side of Novatos, the sniper himself, who managed to get the booyah for them in the previous game, taking on 3 players on the side of T-Rex, all on his own. But this time around, they don't have to worry about no dinosaur, but they have to worry about 787 that is on a rampage, and they've got a mighty decent spot here with that high ground advantage.
I mean, first goal for 787 is take out, put in that revenge against Novados right now, and then they can hang with the rest of the teams. High ground advantage still on them. Now, they have to deal with Fox Gaming on that drop, but Novados right now should be the main focus of the team. The moment they step out, they will be pushed into Shinigami. So let's see on how that plan would work. Fox Gaming is just sitting in there, and Shinigami is targeting them. Garena is down already. Only 2 remain for Fox Gaming.
Let's see if not Fox Gaming can find some sort of a miraculous play here. 787 Mega Man 3. Fantastic response. Looking for more. Woodpecker in hand. And it looks like that has just managed to put a pause onto the aggression out of 787. Stay back away for that recovery. Novatos on the other hand. What a shot by Veg X, but he's going to be the final player left alive here. The rest of them on the inside. Shinigamis will be looking to punish. And Veg X does not manage to save any one of his buddies. And Domi with the Winchester puts an end to Novatos.
And they got 23 elimination, and they still have a few more teams to deal with. Yarowa, though, clear shot onto center players of 787, but I doubt that they'll be able to make it work, because looking at the shift in the circle, it's still not pulling away that far from 787, so they can still maintain this and finish off Shinigamis from the high ground. Glue wall doesn't save them, and only 1 remains. Make that none remains for Shinigamis, and 787 can or might be able to get this booyah.
Definitely, man. 26 eliminations. Holy mama. It's going to be a 28 elimination game here for 787 that has been sleeping on the competition all throughout. Can you believe this, Neptune? This is just absolutely ridiculous at this point of time. A back-to-back booyah from 787 on a day where they have to perform from the 12th spot, 787 proving to everyone that they were there by choice and that they can make it out of there if they wanted to. What a play. What a performance so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, surviving the final circle from the previous match and now grabbing the booyah. Not like decent elimination would be an understatement. That is a huge elimination coming from the team. And 77, I would love to see most of this gameplay, gameplay from 787, even in the group stage. But I guess it's no better time to pull it off than the knockout stage.
Oh yeah, no doubt at all. This was a phenomenal game, right? And 787, sorry, apologies. They actually took the second spot earlier on, and Novatos managed to sneak that one away. But at least they got close enough. This time, they closed it out. 28 eliminations, 12 off of the booyah. And the MVP is one that got trapped by a little glue ball earlier on. 7 eliminations, 5,358 on the damage. This time, they made sure they were so high up, there will be no glue balls, no grenades reaching them.
And no Novatos to deal with because they're just gunning them down. And a smart move, aggressive move coming from 787 in here. Every step of the way, they're getting elimination. I'm loving this version of the team. I'm loving, like, every version of the team that we're seeing right now last day of knockout stage. And this is what we're talking about even for the most instances that we have in all tournaments.
Yeah.
If the last day gives you that great motivation, why not treat every game, every day as if it's the last day of the tournament, and we might see great engagement just like this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Almost a double booyah for 787, but it doesn't matter because 23 points in the first game, 40 points in the second game. I mean, Neptune, they just outperformed any one of their previous matches here, hands down. And Novatos is on and in the flow as well. They do manage to get that first spot in that first game, and now sneaking into the second place, although they got eliminated way earlier than that. Fox Gaming and Shinigamis, who managed to survive a little bit longer, they come up short, mainly because of those elimination numbers. Novatos still showing everybody who's boss out there.
Exactly. I mean, it is tough right now for some teams, especially for SNPT, though we were saying that it's close for SNPD, but I think they haven't put up that much. And the lead that the 12th spot has in, and that's Red Eagles currently, is like pulling away so far from SNPT. Let's take a peek of overall standing. That's what I'm talking about. 143, the target for everyone from 13 to the 18. And SMPT is lacking at least 30 plus points in here, and we've seen that they can pull off some of those games, but 2 more matches, I don't think they'll be able to pull it off.
I mean, this is insanity at this point of time. And E7 Empire, they've got a long journey cut out for them. And like you said, SNPT, 2 more games. It's going to be a rough one, right? Unless SNPT pulls a 787 on us. 787 were in the 12th spot. Now all of a sudden they're in 9th. They just pulled a 40 bomber. If only SNPT could actually pull a 40 bomber on the competition, Neptune, then everything becomes possible once again, right? Because right now, they are 38 points behind Red Eagle. A 40 bomber puts them in shooting distance. Maybe they'll have to compete with Red Eagle just a little bit. But if they can double that, there can be miracles. 787 has shown that they can pull off some miraculous plays. Why not E7 Empire, right? But or even SNPT. But I think that's asking for a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because 2 matches already over. The next 2 matches, though, for SNPT is still going on. But I'm really looking forward to how they are going to pull it off. The gameplay survivability is happening quite well, but those eliminations need to come in as well. Well, right now, we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, the battle of the last day of knockout stage continues, so don't go away.
Welcome back, Survivors. Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter Edition. Today is the final day of the knockout stage. And after this, only top 12 survives. Into the grand finals they go. Bottom 6 will be eliminated, and we are getting closer and closer to that. 4 more games remain in totality for today, but unfortunately for Group A, their final 2 matches coming up here as they take on Group C. My name is AJ, I'm the Mustachioed out here with my brother Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia, to bring you the action. And so far, 787 has been stepping it up, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2 more chances for them because Group A will be sticking with us, and we're going to introduce Group C into the mix as well. Now, the only question is, can they continue it, especially with teams from Group C being part of this mix? Though we don't have the usual threat, which is T-Rex Esports, but they still have Zeus, who might be able to rock it this time around if they decide to do so, because it seems like they are slowing down on this final day of knockout stage.
Yeah, I'm glad though, because we don't just take out 1 Titan, we take out 2 Titans when we take out Group B, because we also have Novatos, who have suddenly woken up in the competition. I mean, you know, gradually they have been putting up a lot of pressure, but in the more recent games, they have been showing up big time, right? Especially in the past 2 matches. You know, Novatos giving everyone a good run for their money. 787 as well as Novatos getting deep into the final circle back to back. But this time around, it's going to be a situation where we see exactly what is to happen to teams like Red Eagle Sport, because you know, they waited for a long time to wake up in the group stage, and then in the knockout stage they continued that performance, and then they kind of slacked off. Today they are now in a situation where they have to run away from the competition once again, because 787 has stepped up. That means Red Eagle has been pushed down to the 12th spot, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. And what the good news for Red Eagle is they have 4 matches, so momentum would still be on them. And I don't know, we haven't seen a booyah from them, and they still managed to get into the top 12. So let's see, this might be the time that we will see a booyah from Red Eagle. Galaxy Gaming, though, unfortunate for them, seems like they are far away from getting in the top 12, but hopefully they can bring so much pressure for the other teams, a lot of chaos for the other teams as well, for those catching up on that grand finals.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's a combination between A and C, because Red Eagle gets to play now, and Red Eagle is now officially the only team in the top 12 within the knockout stage that has not gotten a booyah here for themselves just yet. They've got 4 opportunities to do that, and if history kind of sets the bar right here, Red Eagles should be able to score those booyahs on this one final day of play for themselves in the knockout stage. And then, you know, fingers crossed for the squad that they get to get that done once again in the grand finals, where those booyahs will truly matter. Champion Rush, I cannot wait to see that. We've got a maximum of 8 games potentially to be played there on that day, but a Super Titan could bring it to an early end as well. Here are the team lineup now from Group A. Once again, you've got Zeus Esports, who stays, and 787 Esport, who has woken up in the competition, ready to play for booyahs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even Nexterra is faltering against 787, Shinigami especially, but Fox Gaming, it's a good thing that they're putting so much of effort in getting the points early on before they meet against 787. With Alpine, though, this is a map wherein Nexterra was rocking it 2 booyahs already, total 57 points out of the knockout stage. And let's see if they can continue this on, because they are putting so much firepower, but because of the aggression of the other teams, that's where they were faltering for the first 2 games.
Alpine is going to be this next map that we get to play, and Zeus is very proficient at this map. Problem is, Zeus is so comfortable now in the top 12 that they have not been showing up in an aggressive manner at all. But they've still been showing up, right? So I'm just wondering what's up with Zeus Esports. Like, how long are they going to be hanging back? You know, just showing everyone that they're not a threat. I want to see a little bit of fun out here for the side of Zeus Esports. And what better way to do it? Because now Zeus is on its final 2 games left in the knockout stage. If you don't perform now, then when? Well, I guess grand finals is still a possibility, but I want to see it now.
Yeah, I want to see all those engagement. We want to see all those threat being put down, especially by Zeus Esports. Comparing them to group stages, that was their best time. But
Yeah.
let's see, they might just continue on and waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Oh, man.
And Snowfall would be taken by both Zeus and Rosario Central. And this is not a good news for Rosario Central because they're very close on the 12th spot. Anexados will be here as well. So if Rosario Central goes down, that might be it. Trouble is upon them.
And E7 Empire close enough to make a rotation into Snowfall. Zeus in a lot of trouble. The exit from a battle up against Rosario Central could put them directly in the crosshairs of Anexados. Rosario Central has got a exit plan, an exit strategy that they can execute here, Brian. Finding Pablo. And it looks like Zeus is not going to be able to play for long. John B straight towards Palmer. Needs to make a big play here. Palmer, does he spot him? Yes, he does. John B turns things around. Palmer, do you have no gun, brother?
Not quite sure. I'm not seeing any gun on him. But a nade might be the end of him. A little bit too far, but still managed to hurt Palmer. And now, Anexados will be going for the chase against Zeus Esports, though they still need to revive Pablo. But the vending machine is just there, and John B has done the deed.
I mean, John B. What a play, Brian, though. Mag 7 gets one knock. 7 HP, and John B doesn't get to punish this time round. Chino King on for the push. It's a 2v1 as Brian drops his health right back up. Chino King with a spray down on that Vector headshot. And John B did manage to bring that one revival through. It looks like the play is dropping right back in here for a rematch. And Exados might not have to wait too long to meet them again.
Well, I guess this is showing Anexados really are familiar and confident in this map. Because even in split up, though they lost one player, which is Palmer earlier, they can fight back against top dogs, which is Zeus Esports. But speaking of fighting back, we've seen earlier Galaxy Gaming getting first blood against Shinigamis, and that is not over just yet. The duo of Gui make that a trio of Galaxy Gaming going against a trio of Shinigamis. Let's see if they'll be able to bring them down. Poco MVP just driving by in there. No regards for who is in this area. Now they're full squad against Galaxy Gaming, and they might be able to go for a takedown.
Oh my, Galaxy. 2 players down already. Shinigami's on the hunt, and they are reaping away at the lives of Galaxy Gaming. Vending machine too far away, and Tambris dropping by to say hello as well. Tambris just has an opportunity to gatekeep the vending machine here, so no exit strategy. Shinigami's backing away. And how are they playing this timing so well? Shinigamis stepping away from the battle between Galaxy and themselves, allowing Tambris now to step up, and Shinigamis will assume position to take control of the vending machine and potentially punish Tambris. That's what I'm talking about. Doris getting there in time. Tung tung chat sahur indeed. And Galaxy doesn't stand a chance to get away now as Shinigami's behind them. Tambris right in front. But the jump pad will get Zibolhan away for the time being. And not too far away from a vending machine. 600 coins, man, gets to keep the team alive for a little bit.
Yeah, I know you're loving that 1v1 because both of them have the same skin that you don't love that much.
Now they know what it feels like.
Well, let's see. When the stare down is over for some of the teams, but 787 is not out of the woods just yet. Fox Gaming are the ones hunting Otaku. Almost taken down, but great turnaround being done by Otaku with a Winchester. And he still managed to go for that takedown. Chrono, though, survivability, the final player of 787, already far, far away from Fox Gaming. So they can breathe easy right now, unless they are hungry for blood and they can go for chase.
Chrono's done this before. Chrono could just do it again, and he does it. Brings Domi right back in. 787 still hanging on. 787 Esport want to make sure that their position in the grand finals is guaranteed. They've got 2 more opportunities. They can't slack off. First 2 games, they did very well. And in this third one, just facing a little bit of a challenge. Thankfully, it's the early parts of the game here, Neptune, so recovery is not impossible for 787.
Let's see though. See, there's still a lot of vending machine to work with. That Blues closing in for the first two, the second phase of the circle. Another team that is eyeing for a lot of points would be E7 Empire. After being pushed out onto or past the 12th spot, they can bring a few more if they are careful and survive toward the final circle. But Zeus Esports is not doing so. Even Wason was caught off guard. John P right now going solo against Fox Gaming and Yaroa. Wells Garina has spotted him. There goes Zeus Esports on 11th place.
Okay, all right. And I'm glad Zeus is not going to be playing this lobby. We get to see some on the team wake up, find some dominance. I mean, Zeus is comfortable, bro.
Yeah.
They've got 99 placement points and nothing to worry about. They've got 130 eliminations to carry them into the grand finals with their eyes closed at this point of time. So yeah, Zeus not going to be breaking a sweat on the 11th spot elimination. But Galaxy, though, needs more coins for those revivals. Chrono finding Reyes off of Red Eagle. And it looks like that knock will put them on notice. Fox Gaming looking to play this pressure up as well. They're just not in that perfect flanking position just yet.
Let's see if they can get position, because Fox Gaming right now is our current elimination leader. And there's a lot of threats on them, especially for Red Eagles, who needs to hustle, get away from that borderline. Because if they don't, they are still far away from Rosario Central. If they don't get away from that borderline, they might be pushed out and not make it to the grand final. Fox Gaming smells them, and let's see if they'll be able to take a Red Eagle down.
Yeah, beautiful landing on that cryo mine play, making sure no glue walls are going to be blocking away that entrance, giving the whole team access into this house to play this fight. But it looks like that was a miscalculation, because who they go up against was Red Eagle. And holy hell, Garena just clapped them.
I know Green has power.
That's a hack, Garena. That's illegal. What in the world, bro? Red Eagle. And it was all with that cryo mine landing, giving them access. Everything turned around as those players got knocked. And what Red Eagle did not suspect was one sniper who had that perfect line of sight, who got that final shot in. My goodness me. What an unfortunate end for Red Eagle. You know what this means, right, Neptune? One extra opportunity for E7 Empire to catch up and maybe even kick Red Eagle out of the top 12. That's insane.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is insane. They do have a few more points in already. And though Red Eagle did manage to get a few points in there on that fight, but it's not enough to keep them afloat. And
there you go,
E7 Empire, they might be able to close the gap, but they will need to shy away from engagement now, especially as they are on the board or on the map because of that hit list. But the moment that expires, they might be able to get a compound, and that's when they can get elimination.
I say use the hit list, take the fight straight up to your opponent and say, hey, baby, what's up? They need massive points, Neptune. They're 26 points behind Red Eagle. And with Red Eagle exiting this lobby so early, this is that opportunity for E7 Empire. And it's not a massive game that they require. Get to that final circle. Have 10 eliminations in hand minimum. You get to cut down the distance. But, you know, if you walk away with a booyah and a decent one at that, you overtake Red Eagle in this game itself. And that would be ridiculous. That would really set Red Eagle up for the fight of their lives. And E7 is in the exact same grouping as Red Eagle. Both teams have got 4 games to play, including this one. And they are neck and neck at the very bottom. Bloody hell, it doesn't get more exciting than this.
Oh, definitely. I mean, final day of Knockout Stage brings a lot of excitement, not only engagement, but also the drama that we have on leaderboard. So we'll see if that drama will continue. The only problem right now for for E7 Empire is to deal with Shinigamis as they get into the next phases circle. It is closing from second to the third phase, and Shinigamis is in sniping range. But if they step out in open, this would be the opportunity that E7 Empire can take advantage. A lot of teams in the area that we don't have visibility just yet. So let's see on some of the game that might happen. 787 against Rosario Central. Again, Rosario Central is also in trouble zone.
Los Cubanos just picking up those points, anticipating a couple of eliminations coming their way. Not that they'll be getting the points, but they'll be having to revive their team members. So saving up for a rainy day. And it rains almost every day for Los Cubanos, unfortunately. So, it's winter indeed. But, you know, in some place, instead of snow, you get some rain. Come on. Beautiful knock. And the circle around punishes the players of Rosario Central. And eliminated in 9th. This is something I did not expect. 7-8-7. Showing us a different version of themselves today, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. But I understand Zeus Esports slowing down, but I don't understand Rosario Central.
Yeah.
Or what's happening with Rosario Central, because they're very close to being eliminated in this fight. They are, at this point, if I'm mistaken, very close to the 10th spot. So
Yes, they are.
if this continues, then it would be tough for them to make a comeback. Regardless of how many matches that they have, a lot of teams are already moving up the leaderboard. That makes it troublesome for them.
Yeah, and Red Eagle is not too far away from Rosario Central the last time we looked at this. So, obviously, with both of these teams getting taken out very early, E7 Empire, if they can climb up, we're going to have a three-way fight for that 12th spot, and it's not going to be one that's going to be pretty. No, I was expecting SNPT to wake up. I'm sure you were too. That unfortunately didn't happen, because if that had happened, my goodness me, it would be a party down here with 4 teams going head-to-head for the final 2 spots left available for the grand finals. But of course, Fox Gaming trying to make sure that nobody puts them at risk, and there's just nothing that's going to stop them. Fox Gaming, one of those teams who are very well and safe in the top 12, but still looking to find massive points out there today.
Yeah, I mean, I love Fox Gaming at this point, at this level, because they're not letting up. They're not slowing down, and this would be a threat for the other teams, especially for those who's not making it. But speaking of not making it final circle would be 787, and E7 Empire already on their 8th elimination. Let's see on how much they can bring. And the storyline that you did mention earlier, if they get decent amount of points or probably a booyah, they might be able to catch up onto that 12th spot, push Red Eagles down, and that battle, that party still continues.
Galaxy, opportunity to impress. But from afar, those snipes are difficult to defend against Riptide Rhythm. But great play here, using the terrain to their advantage. Had a boulder, but also a flanking Fox Gaming forces them to use the time turner. But how long can they survive out in the open? Pelted down by bullets. 2 teams attacking them at the same time. Fox Gaming from one side, and Exados now placing a little bit of pressure onto Fox, who takes their eyes off of them. E7 still alive and kicking. We've got final 6 squads left in here. Neptune and Galaxy Gaming need some sort of a miracle in all of their games to be able to qualify to the top 12, but you gotta love the spirit in them.
Yeah, exactly. The fighting spirit coming from them. Again, it seems like the final day is bringing a different side of Galaxy Gaming. Now, Nexterra right now, we know that they rock Alpine, but this is just a preview of what we are going to expect when Nexterra is in this map. Hopefully it carries over to the others, but E7 Empire putting so much of work, 10 elimination already, but is in trouble zone. They need to move to the next phase of the circle, but seems like it's only one player who's putting pressure against him, and it's the final player of Galaxy Gaming.
My goodness me, Galaxy taking a hit at E7. E7 needs every single point available out there on the battlefield. And now Shinigami's taking advantage of this chaos as well, eliminating E7 out in 6th place. In fifth goes Galaxy Gaming, just one final survivor, just unable to hang on. Left with the final four squads here. Tambres has been super quiet this time round, but Fox Gaming really farming on this lobby, taking on Anexados. Both Fox and Anexados safe in the top 12 and not cutting any one of the bottom dwellers any slack whatsoever. If you want an opportunity, you should have taken it earlier in the competition, they say.
Yeah, definitely. This is statement being brought in by Fox Gaming. Little update on E7 Empire. They've cut the lead that Red Eagle has almost half, and they're very, very close to get to the top 12 spot. So we might see it into next game. Fox Gaming, though, battle continues in spite of them losing one of the players, which is Yaroa. But unfortunately, Chino King not letting up. A shot from afar and from the side, and this might be it for Fox Gaming.
Shinigamis, full squad here. The opportunity to play for the Booyah. And Exado's taking on Fox Gaming taking on Shinigamis. A three-way engagement. And a phenomenal nade by Choco. Slows down Shinigamis just for a couple of seconds, but they pick up instantaneous. Definitely running a Thiva and Olivia on that side. And now both Shinigamis and Anexados turning on Fox. Fox just choosing to play up against the wrong squad there. And that plays up against them big time, putting them at a disadvantage. And now the two full squads in a 4v4 equal fight for this Booyah.
Oh, there goes Crime Mine. A little bit off target, though. Shinigamis will be able to move a little bit closer against Anexados. And if Anexados grabs this Booyah, this will be their fourth in the competition and their third knockout stage. Anexados Chino King has been gunned down, but before that happens, they've left Shinigamis with only one, make that none, and Anexados for that Booyah.
Brilliantly played here. Anexados picking up Booyah number 3 in the knockout stage. Equalizing up against Team Blue as well as Tambris in the overall number of Booyahs that a squad has managed to pick up here in the second phase of the competition. These Booyahs are going to be crucial in the grand finals. It's going to be crucial that you are capable of picking these up after you've activated the champion rush condition for yourself, which sits at 80 points. And Anexados showing that they might just be able to get to the 80 points fairly quickly. And this guy, Brian, so lethal, right? I mean, we see the AC80 out there mainly because he's a flex player most of the time on that M590. You know, brutal shots out of this guy. CQC has the Tatsuya and the Rebel Rush as well to cut the distance, has the Olivia, runs the Joseph, no slowing him down. If you try to disable him, if you try to slow him down, you just get him an extra speed boost to run at you, which makes him a disaster to handle, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. Also have that Caroline, and he is planning to use those shotguns definitely in the fight because it gives you a little bit of an increase movement speed, 16% movement speed if you have that Caroline on you. And that's just a good way to get close to your opponent. And we've seen how fast some of the teams are doing right here. But it's Battle Royale, bro. Most of the time we use that, we see that in Clash Squad, but it doesn't matter.
There you go.
If they can pull it off, then why not?
No, dude, I think you brought up a damn good point with the passive of Caroline, right? Because again, Brian, yes, he does flex on the AC80, but it was the M590 that he was rocking even deep down in towards that final battle as well. And you've already got a speed boost off of the Caroline because you're holding on to the shotgun called the M590, which is the current meta shotgun. And then you're going to get the speed boost as well if someone uses that A124 on the opposite end or tries to slow you down in some way or form. You toss an ice grenade at him, he's just going to run at you even faster. He's got that Caroline, and he's got that Rebel Rush off of that Tatsuya. Brian is tough to hold on to, let alone shut down in a battle. 31 points in total for Anexados this time round. Fox Gaming not too far away from them with a total of 25. But what's impressive is Galaxy Gaming on this final bout actually putting up decent number of points on the leaderboard. One that we needed to see out of them a little bit earlier in the competition.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Galaxy Gaming treats this, or every game, especially in the next season, every game is a finals, a grand finals, or a last game for the team, then they might be able to make it to the top, not stressing that they will be pushed out or not making it to grand finals. But
Yeah.
that is in the future. But right now, I'm loving how things are turning around for some of the teams, especially for those who need those points, are getting the points, and another team that we pointed out earlier is E7 Empire. As we started off in purgatory, this might be a chance that they cross over to the top 12.
Let's see who will be the team that manages to shock the world today. E7 Empire. 3 more games to go for them. Purgatory being the next one, and E7 needs to climb their way up. Now, somewhere in the range of around, I think, under 20 points to catch up with Red Eagle. And if Red Eagle falters again, Neptune, off of this ridiculous flight path. Oh my lord! Is this a dream?
Is this reality? Let's see.
Oh,
Let's see now.
Oh no. I think we gotta. No, this is just all out chaos, man. Is this a match where we get a reset because something's wrong, or are the players just dropping and giving up because this is absolute chaos? It looks like a rehearsal matchup where we literally tell the teams, everybody, drop in this one island and finish it off quick, because this is ridiculous, Neptune.
Oh, definitely ridiculous. I mean, most of the time we see 2-3 teams. But if I'm not mistaken, these are 5 teams in the same area. So they're just gunning right here. And the way I'm looking at it, most of the teams in here are the ones already in the safe spot, except for Galaxy Gaming. So Galaxy Gaming can take advantage of this. I don't know how, I don't know what, but this might be the miracle that they're waiting for.
Well, Galaxy's in the wrong place for a miracle right now. But Gui One still managing to find one off of Vox Gaming here. He himself gets taken down. It's Bolhan right behind the blue wall. Beautiful shot onto Shakes. But X-Gain is there for the trade. And Rosario Central, just one of those big boys in Mount Villa, is more than capable of shutting down Galaxy. Everybody else here, like you said, in a safe spot except Galaxy. This is the worst start of them all for a team that's trying its best to show up on this final day. Even the universe is saying, just stop trying, Galaxy.
Well, it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, well, I would love to see Galaxy Gaming on to next season. I'm really looking forward to evolution as of teams, because at this point, you did mention from the beginning of this tournament that FFUSC is still young. It's a lot of things that might happen right here, especially with the turn, the ring around the rosy that we've seen in there, and a revive before being taken down by Alias there. Shinigami is right there, outsmarted by Rosario Central.
There can be miracles. Galaxy believes. Let's see if or not he's going to be able to pull the rest of his buddies back in here. Shinigami's on the other hand. They continue this insane bout.
Ooh!
Mount Villa lies down. Taken out by a skill of all things. Wonder which skill that was. Probably the A1-4 Pokemon. Shot down by Chrono. That VSK deadly.
Definitely a VSK. And it doesn't require that much. It hits like a truck, especially if on the headshot. But Wills need to move away. You know how it is. If there's a Wills, there's a way. But unfortunately, there's 4 wheels on that car that distracted Wills. And 77 gets that elimination.
And there's a will, there's a way. The way was to heaven.
Next lobby.
Unfortunate for the guy. Zeus, though, one elimination. And I wonder if they want more off of this lobby. They are in chill mode right now. Kind of slacked off of their hunting mode. They're now, I think, the 5th predator. The 5th deadliest predator from the knockout stage, which is very much unlike them. At the group stage, Zeus showed everybody who the gods of Free Fire are. I want to see that version once again, and I can't wait to see them unleash their full potential in the grand finals. You guys should not miss that. That's on the 4th of January. We break into the new year with the grand finals. How crazy is that, Neptune?
I mean, new year and new champions, or
yeah.
probably old champions coming back. Because we've seen T-Rex rocking almost every day. Well, if Zeus is not. So let's see if there's something that they can pull off once again for this winter season. But Red Eagles playing it safe. And this is not the signature of Red Eagles.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they go in for the engagement. They win those in the early parts of this game, and then they are knocked down, at least with decent elimination. So them playing safe pulls away from their usual signature move, and that's one reason why they're being taken down by some of the teams.
Red Eagle is trying to torture E7 here, not by choice. Scanning them out, binoculars, understanding one player is not in the area. And Red Eagle might be in trouble here because it's a 1v3 for Reyes, who can't get away. Lightning Zone called upon. And is this Reyes getting tagged? Yes, he is. So smart Lightning Zone played here by E7, trying to prevent the rest of the players on the side of Red Eagle making this approach. Peli Rojo, the tag almost there. Reyes spots one, spots two. Electrotherapy on the plate. 9 gets the drop on in. Great glue walls played at 9. Finds Habichuela. Reyes from up top gets the shot. Vanaking hops on in. Peli Rojo down. And Jeff, the final survivor with the time turner, looking for a miracle. And Red Eagle says, no, not today, not now. And the battle between Red Eagle and E7 Empire for the 12th spot continues, with Red Eagle personally putting an end to E7 in this round.
Well, I'm pretty sure they don't know that was E7, but that was just poetic on how well they managed to get that elimination, making sure the ones chasing them will not be able to do it in this map. And there's still plenty of opportunities for the team to get points. But it's more of the determination of Red Eagles as well, even in Rooftop, being damaged by that Lightning Zone, and also putting topping up not only the HP, but also the EP, just to make sure that still survives and make those shots.
Tambriz with the 6 eliminations already in Galaxy. Now hanging on with the final 2 survivors on their side. Tambriz obviously not going to say no to a free point opportunity. They take the player who was trying his best to get into the circle. And they continue to move on for Tambriz. Again, one of those teams who are pretty much safe in the top 12. Just fooling around at the moment on the final day of the knockout stage. It's keeping their fingers warm, ready for the grand finals. Nate goes wide for Gui Gui. Has to play this safe. Forced to use the time turner, his active skill. And the flank from Domi puts him on the ground. But that is not a plus point for Gui Gui, who's not on the same squad as Domi. 787 showing up in the most unfortunate timing for them.
Yeah, I mean, 787 looks as if they were Zeus Esports. They hear gunshots, they're pulled in, and they are getting as much point as possible to keep themselves safe. I think they're already in safe spot, but they don't want to risk it because there's still plenty of matches and a lot of opportunity for the other teams to catch up against them. But Zeus Esports, Pablo with that VSK, bringing Fox Gaming down, not giving them any breathing room, and there you have it, Fox Gaming out on 9th.
I mean, Fox Gaming, very cheeky, not too far away from overtaking T-Rex in the #1 spot, but thankfully they are one of those heavy hitters that are out early. So some of these bottom dwellers can look for some big points. Yeah, I'm talking about Red Eagle for sure, who has already managed to put a stop to E7, catching up with them. And now it is the opportunity for Red Eagle to run away from the bottom 6. Maybe get themselves out of that relegation zone, out of that 12th spot. But Galaxy Gaming on the final day, showing that they still have the fight in them. Double revival, still alive and kicking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, aggression coming from Galaxy Gaming, going solo in a 1v1, that's not what we've seen before from Galaxy Gaming. They are getting that motivation, and it's all or nothing for this team. But let's see if Anexados can do the same against a team who's aiming for all or nothing. Red Eagles, Abchuela I would say Kobichuela, if he can pull off another one of those nade elimination, but unfortunately Reyes is down, so Snipers is out of question for Red Eagles, but Anexados Palmer being taken down by Benny King. And slowly but surely, Anexados is going down.
I mean, if Anexados does not manage to pull off a phenomenal sniping play from afar, this is going to be tough. Faker from afar with the VSK trying to support the rest of his team members, and it works out perfectly as Red Eagle get flattened and Anexados survives the bout. Faker from afar with the VSK continues to protect them, giving them information that Los Cubanos was in the area as well, and he personally puts an end to that approach. What a phenomenal play here from Anexados. I thought that they had dug a 6-foot deep hole for themselves by splitting up with their sniper, but that turned out to be the blessing in that play, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely a blessing in that play. Let's see if they'll be able to get more blessing in this fight with 7 teams remaining. Rosario Central, though, it's a good thing that they are being cautious and putting in the numbers, because as we talked earlier, that previous game is not like, it's not the best that they have, and we would want to see more of coming from this team. But as we look at the next phase of the circle, the shift would be favoring Rosario Central. Tambres will be closing in, and there you go. Gui Gui, but the rest of Galaxy Gaming has been spotted. I guess that might be Anexados finding their way in the next phase.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Anexados wanting to make their approach. Galaxy just got scanned out. They better hope and pray that Anexados starts to think like, okay, that's a spot where we avoid because there's a team on a defensive position already. And that's exactly what Anexados thinks as they flank away from Galaxy. Thank God for Galaxy. Because that's a fight Galaxy does not want right now. And that actually puts Anexados in a little bit of a pickle because they rotate towards Zeus instead, that they have not scanned out. And this might just be the end for them because Zeus obviously has got an opportunity here. Rosario Central up against Galaxy Gaming on the other hand. They try to shut down the place from up top. Zombie fighting the ball hard. Chin on down on the grind as well. Gui Gui finds one. Then the trade out does not come on through. Gui Gui can't get to the rest of his buddies just yet. Hanging on for his dear life as he is tagged up. His position given away.
Nice.
Oh, that's a smart one. He's like, bro, I can't get to you. Can you crawl here, please? Keep your head down, man.
It's a good thing that there's no like fast reduction of an HP in their knockdown. But
oh, yeah.
I'm loving the energy coming from Galaxy Gaming right here. They went straight in the middle after being spotted with that binoculars, and that's just what we want to see coming from a team just like this who doesn't have that much to work with in terms of point, but they're still giving us a good show. Again, if you're going to go down, at least go down fighting, but there goes Los Cubanos who went down without even a fight.
Yeah, Los Cubanos, but Rosario Central in a little bit of trouble, and they had to abandon their second floor because first they got hit by a cryo mine, and then, first they got hit by a Riptide Rhythm, and then a cryo mine from that lower ground. So they couldn't pull up any defenses whatsoever, but that quick reposition solved that problem instantaneously for them. And that is the counter for these active skills, right, Neptune? They've got a little bit of a zone of effect. Just have to step out of it, set up your glue wall just beside the area of effect of the cryo mine or the Riptide Rhythm, and you are absolutely fine.
Yeah, or just like if you can spot it quite easily, then you can just take it down. Take down Plushie, 150 HP. Easy for teams just like this, and you might be marked, but at least you are safe in putting up those glue walls. So let's see how well they can play it out. But the battle between Rosario Central and Galaxy Gaming will be put in a pause because everyone else will be surrounding them. Zeus Esports slowly inching towards some of the teams, and Fox Gaming will need to move fast because the next phase of the circle will be closing in and probably force them to go into where Rosario Central is, out in the open. That's one reason why Tambres couldn't even move close.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize the cryo mine out in the open grounds when you're just playing around with glue walls, it's a little tough to say exactly where that plushie is going to go. But when you're playing it up against a compound like a house like this, if you toss it against the roof, it stays on the roof. So the people on that second floor are definitely doomed, right? So these pro players are getting those placements of the cryo mine perfected game after game. But the question is, when you're in a situation like this where you've got so many squads outside the circle trying to get into the next zone, do you take a fight or do you make a play for that circle first? Because we don't really have a lot of time. 7 more seconds. This zone is going to start moving. 787 now under pressure, and Zeus makes a move, and Kappa punishes him for that.
David not being picked up. Pablo the only one remaining. Healing up and didn't make for that pickup. Now, 14 remain. Zeus Esports with 4 elimination, and Pablo didn't get the memo. And now he will be taken down by Chrono. Now, 787 still rocking it. Rosario Central still surviving. It's a good thing that we're seeing them get too much of those points. Otherwise, they might be pushed down in 12. But how can you do so if you have 787 and Tambres against you?
Yeah, beautiful play here by Tambres, annihilating Rosario Central. And maybe it was a little premature in the earlier game when I said the back-to-back booyah. Maybe 787 just wants to make my words come true. Can they pull this off? 9 eliminations in hand. Taking that lower ground. Chrono. Opportunity, but pressured by the circle. Will be forced to move. Riptide Rhythm breaking down those defenses as well. Forcing Tambres to reposition. And Chrono with that backstab. VSK in hand. But the rest of the Tambres squad has already moved away. Drytex with the Wukong. Surviving for a little bit now. And that keeps him up on his feet.
Let's see if they can keep this up. No one's going down in 4v4. And finally, as soon as I say that, Drytex goes for M590 shot. And Tambres gets a booyah with 19 elimination.
My, oh my, Tambres just ripping up everybody in that lobby this time round. It's pretty much safe in the competition. But what's very impressive is in the knockout stage, Tambres now has the most number of booyahs to their name, picking up the 4th booyah in their knockout stage run here. Obviously, a very exciting point as they make their way towards the grand finals, where booyahs are going to matter. Maybe in the group stage, maybe in the knockout stage, those booyahs don't matter. But in the grand finals, if you're not capable of walking away with a booyah, you cannot be crowned champion, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And this is where things really happen. If this scenario is happening in the grand finals, the mid-carders might be able to be the champions. And that is because of Drytex. We've seen smart moves come to this guy. The active skill he got from the ground, that Wukong, close engagement, really smart to pull it off. And he did manage to survive, and then he wreaked havoc with that Valiant Dash. Powerful, I'm pretty sure most of the time he used this, but M590 is what he have in his hand with that Ford, Olivia, and Tiva. Definitely a rusher and support build. Like they are set up to make sure that on the final moment, they can still go for a full squad.
Yeah, I mean, this is the beauty of the teamwork, right? And this approach by 787, I really like, where they break down the defenses of Tambres with the Riptide Rhythm. And remember, we were just talking about the counter to the Riptide Rhythm as well as the Cryo Mine off of the Oscar. You've got a little bit of an area of effect off of those 2 active skills. And the best counter for that is, instead of just playing in that zone, just quickly reposition. And that's the brilliance of Tambres. Instantaneous response. They went around, flanking from the right, avoiding the area of effect of that Riptide Rhythm, barely reacting to that situation, but just creating, amping up the pressure as they took that new spot, and obviously guaranteeing themselves the booyah in Purgatory. 4 games in, each and every single match giving us a unique booyah holder. You gotta love it. 31 points off of Tambres here.
Yeah, 31 points, but who follows suit would be 787 as well as Rosario Central. I'm loving that Rosario Central is still putting up the fight. Because there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk for them. They were in 11 before they were introduced in this group, and now they're slowly moving up. And all they have to do is survive on that final circle. But for the other teams, like Red Eagle, 7 points, good enough on them to pull away from E7 Empire, where E7 Empire has been eliminated early by themselves, by a Red Eagle themselves. So it's a good spot that Red Eagle will be able to pull away from E7 Empire, but it's tough really to call if they still can continue this on up until the final game.
Yeah, in the past few days when we've gone through the knockout stage, what's crazy about E7 Empire is the highest point that they have scored on a day, not a game, on a day was 39 points. And right now, they are sitting, I don't know, somewhere in the close to 100 points. This is ridiculous. How did 787 pull this off, man? I mean, definitely a massive climb up the leaderboard. They were in the 12th spot earlier, and now they are very much in the clear. They are going to be in the grand finals. You got to love it, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a turnaround that happens when you are in a rut on a final day.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen this so many times. And 787, I'm loving that they have that tenacity, the fighting power to make sure that they stay afloat. And well, they're even doing more because they're close to get to the first column.
Oh, yeah.
And they are already in the 7th spot, 189. Though it's still far from Tampres because, especially with the Booyah that they got in there. But if they can pull this off on the grand finals, they might be the first who gets to the champion rush condition as well as grab that championship by the end of that day.
That's ridiculous, bro, because they have not played even the full 4 games just yet, right? I mean, this is the kind of awesomeness that we expect out there on the battlefield day after day as we go through these matches. You gotta love it. At the end of the day, if this is what 787 pulls off on the grand finals, like you said, by the time we get into game 4, we could have this all over, right? Because 787 has been able to guarantee themselves these final circle plays, which has been so consistent and so impressive. But it's also contributed by the factor that the big squads are not going all out just yet, Neptune. You know, this is what's getting me a tad bit nervous here, because once the big boys really start to play for the Booyah, we've seen what the reigning defending champions in T-Rex Esport is capable of doing out there when they play for the Booyah. They don't just get the Booyah, they almost get all the Booyah from the day. You've got Zeus in there who can go crazy, and Exados, Fox Gaming, Novatos. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be just chilling for a little bit here before this next matchup. I hope the teams really step it up, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see, though. We're going to go for a quick break. When we return, final 2 matches of the day of the knockout stage before we find out who goes to grand final. So don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, and this is the Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter, and we are up to our last two games in knockout stage. Last two chances for a team to climb up to the top 12 and make their way into the grand finals. Back in the desk, I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia, joined my brother, the Mustachio AJ.
Two more games, two more opportunities. Some squads have completed their run already. Los Cubanos have got no longer a chance to make it into the top 12. Galaxy Gaming, although they do have a couple of matches up ahead against the other squads, they're a little bit too far down the bottom.
Yeah.
E7 Empire, SNPT, this could just be a miraculous run. But that would also include them replacing teams like Red Eagles, 5 Stars, or maybe even Team Blue. And if you're not safe, Rosario Central, maybe even you, right? And we've seen this already. 787, like, explosive run, scoring for the first time 90 plus points in a day on the final day of the knockout stage. They have not done this well, even in the group stage, man. So some fire under your bum, I guess, really motivates some squads.
Exactly, and that's one thing. Hopefully they are motivated as well. And one thing that will make that happen are the threats in this lineup, because we have T-Rex, we have Novatos, and we've seen them gun through a lot of teams, and that might be the 4 that you did mention, like Rosario Central. We have a Team Blue as well as 5 Stars, even Red Eagles. Being taken out early gives more chance to those outside of top 12 to catch up on the points.
Absolutely. And of course, you've got a scenario here where maybe the big boys just want to run away with a couple of final games just before they head into the grand finals. That could also put the bottom dwellers in a lot of risk, right? Because we know teams like Tambres Esports not pulling any stops whatsoever. They are going for broke, man. 4 booyahs so far. They definitely want more. They've got 2 more opportunities to squab big, and they've got 4 booyahs, more than any other team in the knockout stage so far. And I think they definitely want to push it a little bit further, because some of the other teams might just want to catch up with them. T-Rex is very much capable, but even if they try, thank God, we've only got 2 more games.
Well, let's see though. 2 more games, and first one of the first 2 or the last 2 would be in Solara. You did mention about Tambres. 2 Booyah already in this specific map. That's half of all the Booyahs that they've taken so far on knockout stage, and they might go for their 5th. So let's see though. That would depend on where teams will be dropping. The flight path that will be coming from Windmill, heading into past Bloomtown. Now, some teams already hot on their heels on the drop. Now, let's see if this is something that can start off the catch-up in terms of points.
Neptune, you tell me Tambris has got 2 Booyahs here. I tell you T-Rex has got 4 Booyahs here. And T-Rex, I'm starting to miss them. Maybe. Maybe they want to show up in this game, right? So let's see if or not they'll entertain us with a little bit of action here as they set up a battle against a squad called Tambres.
And loving the movement come from T-Rex. A little bit delay, and this is what Solara has to offer. Even if you are late on that drop, you can still catch up quite quickly because of slide rails. And let's see if they'll be able to get on the loot as well. Great position coming from some of the players right here. Just make sure that they will not be gunned down. What's being gunned down? Novatos right now going against SNPT, a team that really needs a point, and Supreme 2 on Overwatch. But what can it do, especially if the crosshairs is already on him?
Novatos 2 eliminations.
Competition. So far, there's a lot of things that might happen.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, but not so much. For T-Rex, they have 1 elimination going against Tambres. It is really tough to see if they can bring their A game in this fight. Putin, though, lost a little bit of HP, but still managed to finish off one player of Tambres. And they will take the hub far away from the rest of the squad, and they can loot easy for now.
Loot easy indeed. And Rosario Central, on the other hand, having a field day with Galaxy. Gui P90 in hand. Circling around, looking for an opportunity, but tagged up by a nade and met by XK's M590 to put him down and out of the run. And Galaxy Gaming gets taken out in 10th.
Yeah, 10th place. Not a place that you want for Galaxy Gaming, especially if you're trying to catch up. But if you're just disrupting the flow of the competition, there's good news for the other teams who wants to put so much of points. So let's see though. We have Rosario Central. After being taken down a bit early, they have a good chance to take down Red Eagles, a team who needs most of the points in this final 2 games.
X-Beast out in the open. Ooh. Can't pull out any glue walls anymore, and he will still find a way to recover. But the flank by XK makes sure that does not happen. And they pull out a hit list on Vanaking as well. Red Eagle might just go down here.
And getting close. Shots in, and 3 players from Rosario Central. Vanaking trying to fight back with MP5, but there goes Valiant Dash and a takedown. Perfect timing, glue wall. It's either prioritization on a pickup or taking him down, but Vanaking is already out. But the Red Eagles is not down just yet. They have a good chance to go in for the fight, and Rosario Central this time around is getting as much elimination from the early on. But Reyes from Red Eagles, their sniper, managed to save at least 2 other players, bringing them back, and they need to stay away from Windmill. Otherwise, they will be feeling the wrath, or more wrath, coming from Rosario Central, who's leading the fray in this match.
One of the teams that you had questions for, Neptune, waking up here, Rosario Central, clearly saying that, no, Neptune, we want to play in the grand finals. Let's see if they can keep this up. Novatos, one of those squads that have managed to play very well in their first 2 games of the day, but up against a very different kind of 5 stars this time around. Losing the first player on to Dragon. So 1-for-1 at Polos. Does not manage to pull an easy one off of here, but Hugo Food from that high ground advantage is making this one a little bit of a disaster for 5 stars.
Yeah, talk about disaster. I mean, they are very close to the 12th spot, currently in 11th.
Oi?
And if they falter, that might be it. But Dior says, no, I smell where you're coming from. I smell what you're doing, and I'm going to take it down. 4 elimination already for 5-star Hugo Food. Would be the next one, but switches over to Veg X. I love the game sense coming from this guy.
Damn. I mean, it's just been back and forth. Great play so far from both teams. Up against each other. They literally farm it.
Oh!
And DR hits the triple to annihilate Novatos. And 5 stars are still in it, man. 7 eliminations strong. 5 stars just want to make sure they don't stay anywhere close to the bottom. They are technically in the bottom 2 at this point of time.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see if they pulled off a Novatos against Novatos. That glue wall to let that one player be stuck in one corner. But T-Rex needs to be dealt with. But Dior down the ground after getting 5 elimination. But the rest of 5 stars is out of view. T-Rex would be left in there wanting more, but will not be able to get it. They will need to get the next phase of the circle, though. And in a bit, might be meeting up with some more of their teammates.
Just non-stop action here in this lobby. So many big squads capable of pulling away big numbers. And E7 Empire still hanging on. Remember, Neptune, 2 more opportunities for them. They're in the relegation zone, currently in the 13th spot. They need big points. And with Red Eagle still alive and kicking, E7 needs to hustle. But E7 can start thanking Rosario Central right now, because FAQ is putting a whoop on the players on the side of Red Eagle. FAQ in all of them out of this lobby.
Oh, FAQ, even in Winchester, not giving an inch. And Red Eagle out in this Solara map. Now, that's something that E7 will really need to thank Rosario Central for. But Rosario Central also needs the point. So it's just a give and take coming from this team right now. But we're left with 6, and we're only in the 7.5-minute mark. So that's a lot more engagement that we want to see. But we've seen so much already that puts some of the teams at the risk of being relegated.
Yeah, give and take. Rosario Central was giving a kind of whoop, taking points off of that. Beautiful stuff for Rosario Central. And you're right, they definitely need those points. E7 needs those points. E7 is still alive. Rosario Central is still alive. And let's see if or not they can pull off something phenomenal here, because Team Blue is not playing Neptune. This is a problem, isn't it? Because Team Blue has got 3 Booyahs, and Team Blue is slowly but surely being pushed down into the bottom 6. So you were seeing a situation here where Red Eagle, if they continue to perform later on, I mean, in the last game, if Red Eagle manages to get to the final circle, they can definitely overtake Team Blue. They're not too far away. And E7 Empire, they need to perform 2 games back-to-back. This one, they need to get into the final circle, maybe even score a Booyah, do the same in the next game. And both E7 and Red Eagle can be in the grand finals, eliminating Team Blue, who's not even playing. This is ridiculous. This is crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's crazy indeed, because Team Blue is one of the teams that has great potential, especially in placement. Top 3 percentage, close to 42%. And that is out of the 12 matches that they played. So if they did play, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of problem that would be caused for those catching up. But this would be the saving grace for those 2 teams. So let's see if that would come true. But speaking of E7 Empire, well, they will be meeting up with T-Rex, and Lightning Zone would put them in a ceasefire for the moment. Once that expires, and that's where all the shots comes in. But nope, E7 Empire says, no, we're going to take those shots. But player JK is not waiting anymore.
Yeah, T-Rex up against E7. This does not look good for E7 here. In fact, engagement with anyone is terrible for E7, unless, of course, they can be blessed with some major eliminations. And they're taking the fight straight up to T-Rex. Look at this. E7 The kind of E7 I've not seen in a long time. Beautiful Cryomine play. Tossing out that little plushie. Pulling out the time turner as well. But player JK will punish. A double for player JK. Bolakan found Jeff and White stepping it up! But putting them down. Alongside Darius, who whipped out the side. Getting a slice in there as well. Before the M590 off of Putin found them, and E7. They needed massive points off of this game, but they falter early.
Bro, you know those videos, self-defense videos, wherein you pull a... That's what T-Rex is putting right here. You can't win an M590 Rampage that's being brought in by E7 Empire. Let's pull out an M79, and that's how that ended. So let's see, how will that work? T-Rex right now is the elimination leader. Following them is Rosario Central, but 5-star Yael on that VSK. Now he's going in for a run. It's like he hit a doorbell and just run it so that he will not be caught.
Yeah. Let's bonk a kid on the head if he ever did that. Who's that? Nobody. T-Rex up against 5 stars. And it looks like they don't want an early fight, looking for the flank around towards the right. So this is a beautiful positioning here by T-Rex. Just positional awareness at all times. Making the right decision. But this is going to potentially put them in the crosshairs of Tambris. And they do scan out the area. They know there is somebody there. And they want to take the fight straight to them. Put it. What a drop shot! AC-80 to the head. Nick didn't stand a chance. Time turner pulled out. Steffi as well. But Tambris with the sight going in for the slice and will get punished. Tambris! T-Rex sneezed and they disappeared.
So we were talking about the Booyah and Solara, and I guess it will be taken away by T-Rex potentially. And Tambris is out of contention. And you were right. They sneeze. Tambris is out. And Putin, not even putting out a glue wall in there after the drop, that just shows how bold they can be on a rush.
Yeah, I mean, the stats just speaking for themselves, man. You did tell me that the squad definitely has a great run here on Solara. Tambris Esports walking into this map with 2 Booyahs to their name. But T-Rex are the true kings of Solara. 4 Booyahs here so far. And it looks like they're trying to get their 5th one as well.
Let's see if they can make it work. So far, 15 elimination already. A lot of targets on the crosshairs, but they're slowing down right now, especially with blue closing in 10 seconds. That's 4 to the 5th, so no one will be hanging outside, and that is T-Rex as well, who's outside of blue, who might be able to target Rosario Central if they go for the jump. But SNPT right now, survivability at its finest. But last time we saw them, they don't have elimination. So I don't know how well they are going to work with this, because they need a lot of points right here. And they're going against targets that they don't want to be in the final circle.
Yeah, SNPT needs about 50 points more than Red Eagle, who will be playing the final games. So I think it's a little bit too much to ask off of SNPT. The awakening of SNPT should have come through a little bit earlier. Rosario Central up against T-Rex. 1 player expanded already. Rosario Central, 13 elimination strong. No rewise for T-Rex. A monster truck and multiple glue walls erected here just to keep them safe as they try to play for the final circle. And SNPT dropping by to say hello to Rosario Central.
Let's see now. I mean, no one is moving an inch for the side of Rosario Central. The focus is still on T-Rex. And this is the opportunity you don't want to miss. But once SNPT goes into the door, they are being gunned down by Rosario Central. It's a good thing that they left a few, if not a couple of players outside to at least go for a few more survival points. But I don't think there's anything that they can grab, because Rosario Central, T-Rex, if in case they are lucky, get in there once one of the team has been taken out, then yes, they might be taking that 2nd place. 9 more points for SNPT. But if not, that will be it. SNPT will not get close to the top 12.
Looks like T-Rex is going to be denied their 5th Booyah here at Solara by Rosario Central. who's got a great defensive spot. The only thing here for T-Rex is they did not have a compound like this that Rosario Central had made their way to in the earlier part of this final circle play. T-Rex making a big mistake on that slow rotation. And I'm very sure this is going to be the kind of lesson that they want to learn before heading on into the grand finals. Because if this happens on the grand finals day, it would be disastrous for T-Rex. But happening it now, maybe a blessing.
Exactly. I mean, one booyah that would cost you that championship. But put in, well, trying to put the effort into getting away. But the booyah will be taken by Rosario Central. And they made a lot of elimination as well from this fight. FAQ, the MVP. And we didn't see that much of Rosario Central other than the first engagement that we've seen in that map. But they did manage to get a lot in this play. So good on the team, Rosario Central. I think they're in a safe spot right now to head into the grand final.
Absolutely. From the yellow zone into the green zone, Rosario Central making sure they stray true to their logo. Oh, is that yellow and blue? Okay, it's yellow and blue. My bad. I'm colorblind, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, as you know, I mean, there's no question indeed that FAQ would be our MVP, M79 action. And we've seen how well either the grenade or the grenade launcher can do in this fight. So you're a grenader for the team. You have it Nero. So what better way to bring out a team than to take out their potential of getting a blue wall? And if that doesn't work, you just lob all those nades in. 7 elimination, 4,668 on the damage, 2 headshots, and 6 assists coming from FAQ.
I mean, this guy was deadly. As the Alvaro, definitely running the beast, then had the Nero on him as well. He's the disruptor of the squad and definitely managed to disrupt quite a number of players who tried to play whatever they could up against Rosario Central, right? This was their final day, and it looks like they're not cutting any of the other teams any slack whatsoever, and it's good for them, right? It shows that when you've got a little bit of pressure on Rosario Central, you can expect them to perform. And when you get into the grand finals, that's all you're going to have, pressure all around, because you only have that one day to show up strong.
Exactly. I mean, a few more instances, especially if it's your favorite map, to get all those points. But towards the tail end of that day, that's where the pressure will be felt. So hopefully they have that confidence. They build that confidence all throughout the entire week before the grand finals. But as we look into the match schedule, we're getting close to our final match, which is Kalahari. And bro, I mean, ending it Kalahari would be even more difficult. Not just for those who are trying to catch up, but even for the other teams on the top of the board. But speaking of board, I'm loving that. No one is taking the double in terms of booyah.
You gotta love that, right? Everybody is on the hustle. Everybody looking for those points out there. Rosario hitting a beautiful 30. T-Rex right behind with a 25. Massive stuff out of the big boys in the competition. 5 stars, one of them as well, in the relegation zone, you know, momentarily only, but showing us that they've got more than enough to flex. E7 Empire hanging on for their dear lives. Some miracle could still happen. This next game, Red Eagle plays, E7 Empire plays. If E7 Empire can get maybe 20 points more than Red Eagle, they will make it to the grand finals. Red Eagle obviously has to get into the final circle, get some massive number of eliminations on their side to prevent this from happening. Because there's no way of telling exactly where E7 is. We've disabled the elimination feed already. You don't know who you're engaging with. You don't know who's getting eliminated. So you just have to make sure you focus on your own squad, get to the final circle, maybe even walk away with a booyah.
Yeah, I mean, that is tough for both of the teams, but if everything goes well for both of the teams, and we've seen earlier that Team Blue didn't play, even in the standings, that would spell that, I mean, that would mean that E7 Empire still has a chance. But a massive pointer, a massive game is needed for them to do so. If my calculation is correct, or if my reference is right, they would need 27 points. And that's not even close to what they have achieved in most of the games that they play.
Thanks for popping my bubble, Neptune. I still thought these boys had a chance, but you never
both,
know.
Though, if both.
Yeah. You never know exactly what sort of a miracle could be hiding behind E7 Empire, right? I mean, they showed us today it's a possible day for them to wake up in the competition.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit of heat under their bums. They want to get in there. They want to earn some good cash for themselves because once again, only the top 12 teams walk away with a slice of this $30,000 prize pool. The rest of the teams, they go back not empty-handed. They still at least have experience earned in this competition, setting them up for the future engagements as well.
Exactly. I mean, talking about experience is not totally a loss because looking at how the returnees are doing right now, T-Rex, they have 5 stars, Rosario Central. So far, they're doing quite well. Even Rosario Central, because of the experience that they have, the capability of them understanding the gameplay of the other teams as well, is just putting them out of the risk of being taken out of grand finals. Yes, they didn't wake up that much in the early parts, but now this is where they are bringing it on. So there's still hope for Rosario Central. That might just be a play of hiding strats, I would say. Just make sure that T-Rex doesn't get another one against them, but still have a lot in contention for that championship.
Yeah, I mean, how many more does T-Rex want for themselves, man? They're already at the very top of the leaderboard. They're dominating. Albeit they only have got one single booyah to their name in the knockout stage. That's very much unlike the T-Rex squad.
Yeah.
But maybe this is where they want to make some miracle work for themselves, man. I mean, we are obviously looking at a situation where T-Rex is obviously, going to be a little challenged. Groups B and C, where you've got so many of these big teams. Teams like Nova aiming for the top spot. T-Rex is not having a clear pathway into that final circle. Even now, they kind of got there, but then disabled. But positioning was definitely a challenge for T-Rex this time around, though, because they just didn't have a decent enough defensive spot for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the priority as well. It's either they go for elimination, and we've seen they get a lot of elimination. They're going for the numbers based on either elimination or placement. And placement was just denied of them from the previous Solara map. So let's see if this will happen in Kalahari. And there's no need for T-Rex to get that much elimination. They can just put pressure, yes. But if they wanted Booyah, if they want to show sheer dominance, that they can do it in the champion rush condition in grand finals, then go grab most of the Booyah. Because in knockout stage, T-Rex only has a 1. And against the other teams in the top spot, they're just bringing it with just their tenacity, with just their firepower in elimination.
Gearing up for the final game of the knockout stage here at the Free Fire USA Championship, FFUSC 2025 Winter Grand Finals awaiting the top 12 teams. We pretty much know a majority of the squads have already made it there. But can you imagine, Neptune, the unbelievable? If E7 Empire has a massive game, and Red Eagle have a massive game alongside them, and Team Blue, the team that did not show up today, get relegated, I think that would be drama at its peak.
Well, Zito, let's see. I mean, I'm still looking forward to Team Blue joining us in this party because this is a party that they don't want to miss, especially with how well they played it before this final day. But again, the drama is at its peak. Whatever happens, it would be a photo finish for some teams. It might be, I would say, problem for the others, but you know how it is. Either you win or you learn. And that's what we're aiming for those who will not be making it on grand finals. Even for those viewers out there who want to be part of this competition next season, because I'm looking at the chat right here and how you can join. Just make sure they follow the channel.
Yeah.
Subscribe to it, follow channel, check out all the socials that we have for FFUSC. Just make sure that you are updated on what's happening, and you might be the next team that will be part of this competition.
Absolutely. All you need is a team, decent enough teamwork, and you need to be able to have fun in a good game of Free Fire. Get your shots on point, just like what you are seeing out here on the battlefield. We usually see the comment section telling us that how they are better than some of these players out there on the battlefield. You know what? we want to see it in action. All right, bring it on. Obviously, we've got a lot of room for squads. We started off this whole bout with 24 teams, something that we have not seen in a long, long time. 24 teams all being thrown into groups. We narrowed that down from the group stage of 24 into the knockout of 18 teams. Now we're going to slim it down further from 18 to just 12. And on that grand finals day, we will go all the way through potentially 8 games to crown the champions. Will it be the reigning defending champions, T-Rex Esport, running away with their second FFUSC championship, or will we crown a brand new champion? That's going to happen on the 4th of January. For now, Kalahari time, baby. Let's see exactly what happens in the final game of the knockout stage.
Yeah, as we head into the drop right now from north in between Shrines and Council Hall, heading into the sub. Teams already dropping. Galaxy Gaming being targeted by none other than SNPT. So there's a good chance for them to really catch up on the points, but as we talked about earlier, they need a lot. 43 points. So this might be a long shot, but at least SNPT has given us a great show of survivability. Novados, though, would be targeting the same team, and this is not a place that you want to be right now, especially with how well Novados has been playing it up until this moment.
Oh yeah, SNPT definitely going to be a tad bit sour if they get taken down here, because SNPT, like you just pointed out, has got a great opportunity to sneak into the top 12 as well, but they'll need everything going their way. Hugo Food down on the ground. Galaxy stabbing them in the back and giving SNPT a little bit of a chance for survival here. Supremo, beautiful play on that Rebel Rush. Gets away with the Tatsuya for the time being. Can he stay alive, though, on his feet? Supremo. Oh, the Supreme escape. Gets away. Polos versus Chidon. Chino goes down. Polos needs to pick up Vegex. Bolt Maker, Lightning Zone called upon this situation as well. Riptide Rhythm, who the hell is that?
I don't know, but it is causing chaos right now out of the teams. And a 1v1, Supremo 2! Winning that fight! That delay in the movement coming from Polos. And still the shot from above. It is Rosario Central who's put in those Bolt Makers as well as take shot. Chicks with that Riptide Rhythm. I guess we know now who that is. But the only survivor, if I'm mistaken, would be one from both SNPT and Galaxy Gaming.
Holy hell, how did we not have any squads eliminated in that bout? This is crazy, man. You gotta love FFUSC for just this reason alone. These players are definitely survivors. Red Dragon managing to take down a player off of Novatos, but instantaneous revival coming on through, and Polos could not get to the vending machine this time around as Thambris bumps into him as well. The players on the side of Novatos not catching a break just yet. But Megamente has got the coins for days, bringing in player after player back into play.
And let's see if they can bring more in this fight. Supreme right now, well, he is still playing the same game that they have, but right now still needs to save up on a lot of coins. Damage being received from far away. But as we head over to T-Rex, going against E7 Empire, and this is a team who don't want to deal with the Giants, with the Kings just yet, but unfortunately they have to do so, especially in Stone Ridge, where most of the champions has been dropping when it comes to Kalahari.
Yeah. T-Rex with the UAV sent out, looking for that safe rotation round. This Supreme squad focusing on the loot, and Rosario Central focusing on the revives and the revenge. FAQ doing everything. FAQ gets the double off of Thambris. FAQ on a triple revive. FAQ on the double knock. But now under pressure. Bolt Maker. Lightning Zone called upon. FAQ gets struck as well. Thambris trying to play this against him. 2v1. There's the third one. FAQ with the triple. Can he get the ace? But unfortunately, the rest of the players on the side of Thambris do not get a chance at revival. FAQ holds the fort. The revive players drop in there and annihilate Thambris. What a play. Not by Rosario, but by FAQ.
Definitely FAQ in there, taking away all the questions. And Jix also put in a few in there. Still, the battle continues against 5 stars. Dior unsuspecting that he will be able to survive. But Polo's right now going in for that heal, when 5-star will need to pull away. Because if they don't, there's a lot of threat on them. And it's not just those in the surroundings. Red Eagles is also joining the party.
Well, Red Eagle, they need to stay alive, get as many points as possible. But Rosario Central, FAQ, you got a little bit more work, boy. Can we see E7 Empire earn big ones off of this? FAQ still on fire. Picks up elimination number 4. King circles around through the window. Great defense by the team of Rosario Central. One player from the side of Red Eagle makes that exit. Novatos flying above them as well. Thankfully, that's a revival. So these squads don't need to worry about that just yet. But Red Eagle focusing purely on that survival, keeping 2 players, including King, to hold the fort here. And Rosario Central does not go in for the shutdown.
I mean, shutdown is is something that Red Eagles doesn't want. But Red Eagles still focus on a few players from the other side. Now, Novatos, double revolver coming from Vegex, showing that he has that accuracy even in a pistol. Now, 11 elimination for Novatos already, and it still continues on. A revive for one of the players on the team, but Red Eagles would try to go the same, trying to sneak in onto that vending machine. And there goes King back in play.
5 eliminations strong, but the revives just don't stop for the side of Red Eagle. Shakes maybe another point here. And yes, he does score that one. Big one off of Reyes. Another player on the side of Red Eagle on the approach. Information sent back telling him that Shakes is all alone. 1v1 time as King. Oh, dangerous CQC player. And Shakes, this is the right move here, putting distance between himself as well as King.
Yeah, especially if you're going solo as a sniper. You don't have a weapon. You don't have the capacity to go in toe-to-toe. But we've seen a lot of snipers who are risking it up close and personal, using those VSKs, much like a shotgun. But no, I guess he heard us and says, I am no coward. I am going to go for the fight, especially as I know that there's only a few that he can deal with. The high ground has been taken. Sees King, misses the first, but made that third.
What a play by Shakes. Quick reposition. Closing up to the vending machine. Look at that. A fall away shot. As he goes towards the vending machine. Shot from the back though. 130 HP. Great play. Enough coins. Actually to buy back more than one player here. Okay, I'm not sure what that play was, but he gets a double revive.
Bro, I mean, Chicks is smart. He's going for installment. Doesn't go all in.
not spending it all in one go. You gotta appreciate some life lessons there out of Rosario Central.
Well, let's see. E7 Empire. Well, they need a lot of life lessons right now because they didn't put in so much of effort, and now, because of that, they might be risking it. SNPT still gunning at them, and they don't have enough to bring the full squad, so it'll be tough, especially if SNPT decides to go for the fight. And that's been SNPT. Last time I saw them, they have 5 elimination already, and this might be their 7th if they can take down Pelirrojo as well as White.
Well, E7 has got a little bit of a backup here, and SNPT is definitely a team they should be able to take on based on the data that we have. White up against Supremo 2. 1v1. Supremo 2 gets the first tag. Tagged right back. White. Sliver of health. Great blue wall. But Supreme 2 on the back. The backstab is probably going to be great here. White healing himself up. Great play. Turns things around. The 180. And 9 interferes with the Bison, but he technically had that on his side.
Let's see. E7 Empire, 3 elimination already. SNPT left with only 1 in Council Hall. If they can go for a chase, then that might be it. SNPT would be out. Supreme 2 being chased. Backstab with a Max 7. Glue wall placement, but not enough because here comes another. Pelirrojo missing that turn. And there goes a rush, but unfortunately they still catch SNPT and they
Oi.
eliminate them on the final game of the knockout stage.
Oh, come on. Rosario Central just not giving E7 any room to breathe at all. Shakes with a VSK from afar, gets the knock. Novatos up against the one and only Blue. Back in here to play. Great opportunity to pick up big points. I guess they got a little nervous. They're like, wait a minute. If we don't play, maybe we'll be in trouble. Yes, you will be. Too close to the bottom, Blue. And Feng's the final survivor here. Boys didn't get enough opportunity to warm up. That might just be the punisher of the day. Red Eagle, on the other hand, finding the first one off of Chino. This is a battle. Red Eagle can definitely take on King. Very lethal in a CQC. Gui Gui turns around, and they take each other out simultaneously.
Now, let's see. Sibulhan, Gui Gui Bot. Sibulhan goes in for a little bit of heal, and there's little no chance for a pickup, especially if King
GG.
is still alive. But King needs to heal up, but Red Eagle has already done the deed. Now, as they head into next phase, the circle brings back Ash X Beast. They will be a full squad that can get a few more points in this game, and probably the catch-up's not yet over for his team.
Team Blues just say, you know what, guys, we just need to survive. Okay, we don't need eliminations. We just need to get into the final circle. This will be a walk in the park. But of course, Red Eagle putting on the pressure. E7 Empire, 26 points behind Team Blue. And it doesn't look like they are on a massive collection game this time round. Not farming the lives of their opponents. Ooh, Brew could not get out of that one. Rosario Central, on the other hand, speaking of farming, I'm doing a damn good job.
I mean, I really love this version of Rosario Central, but it's just unfortunate for the other teams who's trying to catch up because they are showing it right in here in the final game. We've seen that much coming from Rosario Central, especially in the group stage, but now they were already in the same spot after that game number 5, and they still continue on. They don't want to risk it, so I guess it's unfortunate for the others, but still smart for Rosario Central because then, when needed, they can bring it on.
Absolutely, and Red Eagle, 9 eliminations strong. King, as usual, rampaging, has the Winchester in hand. And this is the form of Red Eagle that we bumped into at the group stage as well. When they were tethering on the edge of not making it, they just went on a rampage and sneaked on through. Blue is out, though. This is a big one. E7 Empire is still alive, but Neptune, they need a massive game to stand a good chance.
Yeah, I mean, a massive game indeed. Now, that would depend as well on what placement Red Eagle can take, because if they can get more points out of the 22 survivors out there, or 6 teams that we have right here, then they can overtake against Team Blue and E7 Empire, though, I know, E7 Empire is already out at a very low point game. So it's tough to see them grab that much, especially as they don't engage that much on those elimination. But 5 stars will be taken out. Only 5 teams remain in this fight.
Well, we are running out of lives here for E7 to farm on because they need... If they can score 30 points here, 30 points flat, okay? We can say goodbye to Blue. But E7 Empire, as of this point of time, only has got 4 points here. In a great time turner landing. They still survive. They need all the points of Novatos. Novatos, a great squad when it comes to a 4v4. They set themselves up great. But Pelirojo and 9, they farm big time. 9 getting the confirmations as well. E7, a quick hit and run, allowing the rest of the Novatos players to recover. And I really like this. Because if they do manage to get the revivals, maybe E7 can hunt them down again.
Let's see. And it's a good chance for them to really catch up on the points. Now, T-Rex. I'm not questioning what T-Rex is doing right now. They're going passive, but I guess this is a little bit of practice on what they need to do on to that grand finals. But let's see. T-Rex already getting close to Rosario Central. Pelirojo was able to get at least take down one of the players of Red Eagles, but a pickup has been done already.
Oh, yeah, through the window. Thank God it's not through the walls, because those boys would be toast. My goodness me. Put in putting them down, putting up the warning instantaneously here for E7. You've got it. Are you kidding me? Get out of the window, boys. Like, yeah, glue walls. Thank you. Unnecessary knocks coming on through. Having to spend their medkits. Thankfully, in the current meta, that's not much of an issue. All three players marked, and now E7, the target of every squad out there.
Let's see, I mean, through the window, through the wall. Sounds like a lyric from Get Low. And there goes the shot against Red Eagle. Habichuela still alive. Pickup is bound to happen.
Oh,
but
GG.
there's no revive that would be happening for Red Eagles at this point. Now, it's just T-Rex putting so much of pressure, not even confirming those eliminations. So let's see who survived the wrath of the champions. At this point, Riptide Rhythm, player JK, glue wall, floating in the air.
E7 Empire needs a massive one here. Hugo Food with the knockout to player JK. This is a big play coming through from the players of Rosario Central. But player JK back up on his feet with the Riptide Rhythm still fresh in his hands. Novathos better watch out because they've asked for trouble. Bolakan taking the fight straight up to them. And the Valiant Dash breaking down the defenses. Hugo Food stuck in a tight little corner in his own glue walls, barricaded himself in. And the deep freeze takes him out of that play. Rosario Central right at the back, looking for trouble, and they might just find E7.
Let's see if they can find E7.
Nani?
Probably beat Red Eagles to it. Habichuela with rank 7. And there you have it. Rosario Central being taken down. Second place will be taken by Red Eagles. Now,
oh no.
E7 Empire being gunned down from all sides. T-Rex for the booyah. And let's see if the points adds up to make them move on to the grand finals. But the champions are back in play. And your favorite skin, AJ.
Damn it. T-Rex. Oh, man.
They're listening.
E7
You know
Empire.
they're listening.
Yeah. E7 Empire, man. They were sitting ducks in that final bout. But look at the way, luck just played out towards them. And E7 Empire, they're definitely one of those squads who are regretting not going all out from the very start of the knockout stage. Because what we have seen out of E7 Empire today, not great games, but they were enough to survive. They were enough to get into the final circle. If that kind of hustle had been seen from day one of the knockout stage here, I have no doubts whatsoever E7 would have been clear in the top 12. But now, we got to sweat, bro. We got to look at the points shortly. And T-Rex, of course, pulling away a solid booyah to end their run here in the knockout stage. Obviously, they had guaranteed themselves that #1 spot, but this is just the cherry on the cake for sure out of T-Rex. Don't know how they placed that cherry on the cake with those short arms, but somehow, maybe they hired someone. I don't know. Somebody got it done.
Let's see. I mean, they have they have, or they will be able to get it with those teeth. But definitely those cherry would be shredded already. But speaking of shredding, here comes Bolakarn.
Oh yeah.
Now he is a rusher of team. We've seen him do it, but with an SVD in his hand, especially in a map like Kalahari, he will be rocking it that much. Wherein he helps out the rest of the squad. I know elimination is not that much for T-Rex as well as Bolakarn right now. Even the damage, but we've seen before the final circle, they only have 2 points, so they are not engaging that much on a battle. They are just aiming for this booyah. And I did mention earlier, they're preparing themselves for the grand finals to be the champions once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reigning defending champs looking strong as we head on into the grand finals. Showing up whenever the hell they decide to show up. When they don't decide to show up, they're still a threat. When they do decide to show up, there's just no stopping their rampage. Thankfully, though, this was not a crazy good game in terms of eliminations, but it's very scary. T-Rex, without even trying, able to just waltz their way into the final circle. And look at that finisher. Easy plays for Darius, and they barely broke a sweat in that final engagement. E7, all they could do was just eat a couple of grenades and say, good job, T-Rex. You completed the run of unique booyah holders for the final day of the knockout stage.
Across the board, no one gets a double, but, well,
Holy.
as you know, right now, E7 Empire almost in there getting as much point needed, but Red Eagles, I guess this is a chance for Red Eagles to celebrate. They're out of relegation spot. They will be getting over Team Blue, but the performance of Novatos, so we didn't see it that much. 30 bomber for this game.
Yeah, I mean, Novatos, my God, how did we not see those eliminations off of Novatos? They were having a phenomenal run here. Just 6 placement points, but 24 eliminations. Ridiculous stuff off of them. And obviously, you know, just wanted to prove themselves as the titans of the competition as they set things up. And Blue Sail hanging on to that 12th spot. And these are your 12 squads who will make it into the grand final. Survivors, this was not an easy bout at all. E7 Empire, SNPT, Cold, Galaxy Gaming, PvP, Los Cubanos will have to unfortunately end their run here in FFUSC 2025 winter.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to see T-Rex, Novatos, Anexados USA. We have Fox Gaming, Rosario Central, Zeus Esports, Tambres Esports, 787 Esports, 5-Star, Shinigami's, Red Eagle, ACD, Team Blue joining us into Grand Finals. I need to emphasize on Red Eagle because we've seen the journey coming from this team.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a good thing that we're going to see more of that. Great motivation for all survivors out there. If you put that much effort, you will be able to make it, and make it they have.
This journey through the group stage and the knockout stage has really set a phenomenal grand finals up for us. And I could not ask for a better setup, a better lineup of the 12 Titans that will be playing in the grand finals here at the FFUSC 2025 winter. Neptune, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be a savage battle on the 4th of January as we head on in to crown the FFUSC 2025 winter champion. Will it be the back-to-back champions, T-Rex, or will the reigning defending champions, the very vicious T-Rex, be annihilated by teams like Novatos, Anexados, Fox Gaming, Rosario Central? Anybody could take it, man. I mean, woo, this is going to be an exciting one.
Exactly, especially with the champion rush format that we have on the championship. It's not about the number of points that you have anymore. Yes, that's the first thing. That's the first part. But once everyone gets to the champion rush condition of 80 points, that's where the journey, it's where the drama really happens.
This is where the teams in FFUSC have to do their homework. Not every team out here has an analyst. Not every team out here has a coach. You have to do your homework and check out the drop spots of every single team on every single map. Not just take a mental note of it. You take the mental note, throw it in the rubbish bin, okay? You need to write it down because there could be a moment where one of these Titans activates that champion rush condition early. And if you're one of those who are close enough to getting it activated as well, close enough to running away with the championship, close enough to run away with $10,000 US, you want to be hot dropping that squad. Multiple teams want to be hot dropping that squad because this is a grand finals where you got to stop others from getting to the end. You got to stop others from activating the champion rush, getting that booyah once they've activated the champion rush, because they have got your fate in their hands, man. And if you don't stop them, you can kiss that opportunity to goodbye.
Exactly. And at that point, denial is not just a river in Egypt anymore. It's a key for you to prevent another champion and taking over you. So let's see who's going to bring in that denial in the grand finals. But just set expectation for everyone, guys.
Yeah.
If you have been hanging with us on broadcast, we are going in a little bit early for the grand final. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you don't miss any matches because we don't want you to miss any of the action that will be happening there.
Now, we definitely do not want you guys missing that action. We'll see you guys on the 4th of Jan, like Neptune said, 1 hour earlier, okay? Don't join us a little bit late, but hopefully if you do, the action still continues and we've got all 8 games to play on that day. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the end of the knockout stage. We've got the top 12 teams already, so Neptune and I signing off. We'll see you guys at the grand finals.